Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what this is. This is Black Friday. This is Black Friday. And what is that you say? This is where we talk business. If you have a business, you want to know about business, you have an event, whatever it is that you have going on, we actually give you a platform, 58 countries strong. We give you a platform where you can actually come on and talk about it in its entirety. And you know how much it costs you? You know how much it costs? Say how much. Xavier, you say how much it costs.
Well, last time I checked,
Mhm.
they said it was free.
No, 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 no. The price and change. The price and change just a tad bit. You know how much it is now?
How much is it, Don?
Zero and a half. Zero and a half. That's how much it costs you. Zero and a half. And so whatever, if you could come up with the concept of how much zero and a half is, that's how much we're gonna charge you. Zero and a half. Xavier, say good morning to everybody. Tell them who you are and just a little bit about yourself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Xavier Johnson. I am right south of Atlanta, about 30 minutes south of Atlanta, in a little town called McDonough. And this is my thing here, man. I love business, love talking about business, love talking about entrepreneurship, and understand the power that entrepreneurship gives you.
Mm-hmm.
In your life. I became an entrepreneur, full time entrepreneur, about it was about 9 years ago now, and I tell the story that I didn't want to be 65, 70 years old, and my kid said, "Dad, you gave us a great life, but you were never there." And
Mm-hmm.
so I wanted to take control of um, my finances, take control of my life.
In your life, I
And
became an
entrepreneur full time,
Mhm.
begin to work through there and create some opportunities for myself, my children. I make them start a business before they leave home. They don't have to keep it running, but I make them start one, and we go from there. We go from there. So it's been a beautiful thing. Been a beautiful thing.
And see, I heard you say that before, brother, and I think that's a beautiful concept to make them, like I said, whether they want to continue it or not, but to make them start a business and then know the business concept and everything before they leave out the house. So that way, I think you're equipping them with some of the tools that they're going to need in going forward. You're equipping them with some of the things that they're going to need if they run into a rut, if that job for whatever reason, give them a little hiccup. Okay, how am I gonna pay these bills? What am I going to do? How am I gonna do it? Wait a minute, hold on. I started a business when I left the house. I started a business. Now let me go back to that and let me pursue that for a while. Maybe that could keep this train on the track until something else come on aboard. Keep the train going on that track until something else come about. That's a beautiful concept. I love that. We got a caller. Caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
You ask me all the time where I'm calling from, and you know I'm not going to tell you. But my
Well,
name is
one of these days I'm gonna hit the lottery. One of these days I'm gonna hit the lottery. You're gonna say, I'm calling in from Blase Blah. And bells gonna fall from the sky. The confetti gonna come out and everything. And it's gonna be a brand new day. So one day I'm gonna hit the lottery. One day look
I'm,
here. They say that.
I'm calling.
Go ahead.
I'm calling from everywhere.
Calling from
I'm
everywhere.
calling
Now I don't
from.
know that. I don't know if that's a confetti moment right there. I don't know if that's a confetti moment right there. I'm just saying. I don't know if that's what that is. I'm trying to understand. I don't think the confetti can fall out the sky. But today is Black Friday, and this is Tawanda Grace. And tell us about Black Friday and what is the whole concept behind this whole idea. And give us a little history of Black Friday and where it is now.
Okay. So Black Friday was just an idea that I came up with in the midst of we was on another show. We was on a Black economic show. How long the Black dollar stayed within the Black community. One of the things that I saw personally was Black businesses don't have enough advertisement. They don't have enough promo. They don't do enough target marketing. They don't. They still listen to the standard ways of doing business, and it's not beneficial for
Mm-hmm.
Black businesses to follow that model, such as mass marketing and stuff like that. We just don't have the budget.
Mm-hmm.
So we came up with this idea that we was going to do Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of made you do it.
She twist my arm, y'all. She
Kind of
twist
made
my
you.
arm. She twist my arm. She said, "Look
I,
here, this what we're gonna do, Raheem. This what we're gonna do." I said, "Hold on, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Go ahead."
but it's been a great journey. It's
Mhm.
been, we have great weeks and some weeks we don't have anyone to call in, and that's even fine too, because on the weeks that we don't, it's a great educational
Mhm.
week for people to come on. So it's not only for people to come on and talk about their business, it's also educational. I mean, we have black attorneys, we have real estate people coming on closing $2 billion deals,
Mhm.
telling you about business credit. Um, we just have a lot of different things. We have a lot of people that come on that really is amazing, that these people, they
Yeah.
waive their time, they waive any consult fee, they waive anything just to come on and teach black business owners. And we want more people, specifically now in a time that we're at with this whole COVID, to use it, because this is the wave that people need to be on, specifically focusing on their self and their business, because it's so many people that's in this whole digital world now.
Mhm.
It's no need anymore for a brick and mortar, um, because it's so many ways to advertise and promote your business online.
Exactly, exactly. And another way you can advertise your business is to come to dkmmediagroup.com. Get you an audio and or video commercial for 30 seconds for a very affordable fee that will benefit you and send a message to over 58 countries. And certainly, wherever you are, it will be of a benefit to you. Christy! Y'all know I got to be silly. Good morning, Christy. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I see you got your one of them Luther boys' voices on today.
I got my soul glow on.
No, you ain't got the soul glow today.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I thought I did. Lord, my Jesus. Hey, Chris, this is Black Friday. We're talking about business. And I want to know something. I want to ask you this question. And we're going to circulate this particular question. How important should making money be the number one pillar of your business? Should making money be the number one pillar of your business?
First, I would like to say good morning to everybody.
Good
It's the
Lord, I'm
morning.
gonna
morning
mute.
show. Make sure you
Lord, I'm gonna
call
mute.
in 381-678-1973. Make sure you call into the morning glow to give your opinion about what you feel and what you think, because we'll be ready to listen and to respond.
Oh Lord. Okay, now you got now you can answer my question. Now you got all your little disclaimers out the way. Can you answer my question?
Yes,
What?
now I can answer your question. Well, I think the purpose of any business is to be successful and make money. So
Stop right there.
I
Stop.
mean,
Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. That and I love the way you said that. But to be successful, how do we? Is a business equated? And I can't wait to hear Xavier what he gonna say about this. Is making money is that how we equate success in a business? The amount of money that we make is that the measuring stick, how much money the business make, rather or not that business is successful.
it depends upon a business.
Mhm.
If you're a business that is getting money for a service, then yes, that money would say whether or not you are successful or not. If you're a 501c or like Red Cross or those type of agencies, then your success rate is based on the amount of people that you help. So
Mhm.
monetary value would not be um, your success. Your success would be based on the number of people you helped, how many people that you have gotten to get in there, CPR through you. It's all of it's all about what your business is. Now, if I went into business, let's say I started a business for us, doing resumes and helping people become job ready, then my success rate would be how many people or the rate of people that I've gotten to get jobs. That would be my
Mhm.
success. Based upon my success would be, hey, I have in my community a 50% unemployment rate. Since I started my business, now the unemployment rate is 20%. That would be a success.
Mhm.
So I feel like we can measure success. It's hard to say that money is is the key of saying that it's successful, because some business don't run on money. Now, if you're a fast food restaurant, or if you're of a business that provides service of money, then that money would stimulate your success. If you're successful, then you have clients, your income is increased. So, I mean, it can be a measurement.
Okay, let's go to Tawana, and I want to go to the ladies first. Xavier, and I want to ask Tawana the same thing. Is the amount of money that your business make, is that the measuring stick, Tawana, as to whether your business is successful or not? What do you say to that?
I mean, at some particular point, it better be, if you want to stay in business and you want to stay afloat. You need to bring in money. You need to have some type of money. Now, the cute answer is no, it's not. But I mean, that's not the realistic answer. Yes, yes, it should be fun. Yes, you should enjoy everything you do, but I don't see you enjoying what you do and you're not bringing in a profit for what you're kicking out most of the time. And that's what I said. Most of the time that people have the unrealistic approach that when they start a business, they're automatically going to generate money, and it just doesn't work like that. So money needs to be a top priority if you want to stay in business. Now, you should love what you do, and you should wake up every day and want to do it just because that's what you love. But you need to make some money, yeah.
Okay, that's good, because and I understand exactly what you all are saying. I kind of feel a little different, but let me go to Xavier. Xavier, what do you say to that, man? Is that should that be the number one measuring stick as to whether or not your business is successful?
And I think it's a great question. Let me preface it with this. Ecclesiastes 10:19 says, "A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry, but money answereth all things." And we're not talking about, we're not saying that don't take it out of context. If you're in business, money helps you achieve the mission, whatever the mission is for your business. I've seen businesses make money and not be profitable because they're different, right? So the problem that we run into, if a business is making money but they're not achieving the mission, if they're not giving great service, but the business is making money, is the business successful? I'd say no. We see it every single day. We walk into restaurants, get horrible service, horrible food, but they're still making a profit, right? They're still able to pay their bills. And that's not necessarily a success of the business. We've seen examples of that in our own society. We've seen businesses that we thought were doing well, and something like COVID shut them down. They made money before COVID, right? COVID hit. They had 6 weeks of either shutdown or some sort of change to the way they do business. Prior to COVID, they thought they were fine. 6 weeks later, they're shutting the doors. I've been a martial artist now probably for 30 years. My instructor has had his studio, 34 years, something like that. He just shut down 2 weeks ago. I would have thought his business was, exceptionally stable after that long in business. But the money didn't come in. But does that mean that his business was a failure? Absolutely not. So I think you can measure it. If you are making money, you would think that the business is being successful. But at the end of the day, it's up to that particular business. What mission is your business? Why do you exist? Right? Even a nonprofit, Chrissy mentioned that. You can take nonprofits, they need more money than anybody else, because if they don't have money, they can't achieve the mission. But I've seen nonprofits that have money and still don't achieve the mission, right? So it's that's a good question. So I wouldn't say that the finances is that determining factor if they're successful or not. I would say if you're achieving your mission, whatever the mission of your business is, but don't negate the need of finances to roll into your doors to achieve that.
I understand what all you all are saying, and yes, money is something, and people, majority of the time, people go into business to make money. But there come a point in a time in the business where money, in some instances, would take a back seat to other things. Money would take the back seat to quality. Money would take the back seat to, am I helping these people? Am I getting these people to where they need to be? Anna, what are you doing?
I was answering a question, but go ahead.
Lord Jesus, what do you say? What do you say to that, Anna? Do you think that money should be the number one, the number one tier in a business?
Okay, so this is my motto for you guys know I have my own nonprofit, as you guys know, and you guys know I have my brand, which is Lunchtime with Anna, which not I pray. Good morning, Leonard. I know it's going to continue expanding because I'm doing everything putting Christ first.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe if we all do that, no matter what your business is, no matter what your Christ is, well, I think everybody has one Christ, but no matter what your religion is, if we do that, we'll turn around and we'll succeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you went into your business because Christ didn't tell you, because Raheem told you, Xavier told you, Christy told you, or Leonard told you, or Anna told you, and it wasn't given to you from Christ, then expect some rocky roads along the way. With that being said, I do believe you do need money. With my nonprofit, I do a lot of things on my own, out of my own pocket, but you can always write it off. So, it works both ways. You can always write it off. Or I do things just because I want to do them because it comes from my heart. So, like I said, that's iffy on you. But for me, if I do not put God first, I don't think it's going to get anywhere. And I do that with every single aspect of my life. And he hasn't failed me yet. So that's my answer to your question.
Yeah. Good deal. See, and I know, and truth of the matter is, a person will be an idiot to think that somebody going to business and don't want to make money. And so I don't want people to think that we're saying that people don't want to make money. But my question is, should that be the number one tier in the business? Should making money be the number one tier? Again, I say, a person, if somebody going to business and don't want to make money, they shouldn't go into business, because there's certain things that they're going to need in order to maintain and to run that business, and money is a part of it. Because if you don't make money, your lights are not going to be on. You're not going to be able to do the things that you need to do. All that's a given. We don't have to state the obvious here. But my thing is, should that be the number one tier? Leonard, we're asking a question this morning. This is Black Friday, and we're asking a question: should the number one tier in business be to make money? Hold on, Leonard, can't hear you, brother. Unmute.
In my opinion, it depends on the type of business that it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because all businesses don't have a profit motive. Very rarely. Like, say, for instance, I help people form 501c3s,
mm-hmm.
where profit is not necessarily the motivating factor. It's the activity that they're engaged in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, for instance, a church, for instance, the motive shouldn't be profit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Shouldn't be. Good. Shouldn't be.
But,
we can go so many different ways on that, but go ahead.
But business is business.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure when you say it shouldn't be money, really what you're talking about, because there's a structure for that, and it's called nonprofit.
Mm-hmm. Well, and see what we're doing. We're dealing with the whole ball of the wax right now. We're dealing with the whole ball of the wax right now when we say business. Now you do have your different tiers. You do have your nonprofit. You do have your business. You do have your for-profit. You have there's a lot of different layers here. But what we're talking about right now should, as a whole, should the main objective in the business be to make money?
Yes.
Okay.
Or it ain't business.
Your answer just changed.
Well, I mean, if outside of the nonprofit structure,
mm-hmm.
what other is there?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's the question that the IRS asks you.
Listen, that's the one. Look, one in the background. I'm
just saying, And
Because I'm waiting for you to go to Leonard to answer this question.
I mean, what would you be in business for?
Well, service. A lot of you can go into business for service. You can go into business because you want to help people. You know, there's some and now
That's called nonprofit.
well, not everybody, you know, but you got to understand this too. You got to understand this too. You got to understand that a lot of nonprofits have a for-profit side as well. So not all nonprofits are just nonprofits. So you know that we don't want to put that out there to think that because this is a nonprofit that they're not trying to make money. Yes, they are, because like I said, I know a lot of people that have nonprofits, but they also have a for-profit side of their same business. And so let's not get it twisted that think that a nonprofit is just because of the fact that they don't want to make money. Yes, they do. That for-profit side. So we can't get confused as to that.
One of the examples.
The difference between that is primarily you do. I mean, the majority of what they do, they know they're not going to make money. When you go into a regular standard business, you have to make a profit. If you don't make a profit, then you're not going to be in business, period. I'm not saying that should be the primary focus, but how much money are you going to keep kicking out of your own pocket to keep a business afloat that's not making any money? I mean, that makes no sense to me. Yeah,
well,
you should.
Are you some type of privately funded organization?
Well, my thing is this, right, and that's individual based right there. Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Breath?
But my thing,
we got the deep breath, Leonard.
but see, my thing is this right here.
Right.
Okay. Now, you got certain individuals that I know of, and I'm speaking from personal experience. You got certain individuals that I know of that like I said, and Xavier, I think Xavier co-signed this as well, that they'll go into business, have a nonprofit. I think I seen Anna shaking here, yes, too, have a nonprofit, but they also have a for-profit side because of the fact that, like Tawana said, you know, this side is for the service side of it, and this side here is to make money. But the whole objective of going into the business from start is the nonprofit side. Now, do they not want to make money, or not when they first go in? Because they go in because I wanted to start something, whereas I was going to give showers to the homeless. I was going to go out there and invest in shower units for the homeless. I was told not to do that because of OSHA and all the things that's involved in that. And so I was kind of geared away from that. I wasn't going to that. You know, how the homeless people gonna pay me money? It wasn't for money.
You get money from.
You're breaking up on me, sis. You're breaking up on me.
Nonprofit. Hold on.
Right
here. Hear me now?
Yes, there you go. Yes. Hold on, Chris. I'll come right back to you. Go ahead on, one.
I think the problem is we're trying to mix nonprofit
and profit.
with and profit. It just doesn't go. It just doesn't work together. Now, nonprofit, most of your stuff is going to be volunteer and community service. Now, you can't say, I've never seen a person that has a regular standard business that has overhead costs, that has any type of fee that has to be out of pocket to say, oh, I'm not going to worry about making any single penny. I'm just going to keep on being in a negative and going out my own pocket. It's never happened to me. I've never heard.
I'm saying, and truth of the matter, you know, that it wouldn't make sense. It really wouldn't make sense for somebody to go into business and know that they keep bottoming out, then have to go into their own pocket to do the things. I mean, that I understand what you're saying with that. It doesn't make sense, but at the same time, my question, I think, is a little different. Should that be the main motivation? The main motivation, Xavier, what do you say to that?
You know, take Goodwill. Goodwill is a non-profit organization.
Yeah,
they have a for-profit side.
Yes, they do.
And the for-profit side, it's a brilliant design because we give them their product for free. We give it to them.
Yeah,
and if they're not making money on the stuff we give, they can't serve their purpose, their mission, which is to help create jobs and resources for the world. So Goodwill is one nonprofit with a for-profit component to it. But any other business, if you take like I say, any restaurant, take a Chick-fil-A. A Chick-fil-A is a restaurant, and as we all have alluded to, they open a restaurant to make money, but their goal is to sell chicken and give their customers a great experience. That's their mission. That's what they're pushing forward for. They're doing that through, a chicken sandwich or whatever their products are. And the way that they know they have been successful is by making a profit.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
if you sell burgers, now again, I wanted to just jump on your the shower idea. So every year I take my kids to a Safe House outreach here in Atlanta. It's right downtown on Ellis Street, and they do what's called a chili cook-off. It's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. And we've been doing it for the last decade because it's a really safe environment for kids to serve. They block the street. So anyway, it's huge. There is a mobile showering trailer that comes down and allow those guys to take showers. I'll shoot you the contact information of the church that does it.
Okay.
Right here in McDonough. They pull a whole trailer down there, and these guys shower, do their thing, and keep moving. But it's not out of the realm of business for you to do that same type of idea, and the radio show or another business, let's say a lawn service, is the profit component for that shower trailer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm with you. So yes, so you should want to make money in the business. I'm not saying it is the number one piece, but yeah, once you understand your mission, once you understand what the business is designed to do. Same thing with McDonald's. They wanted to sell burgers, shakes, and fries. That was their goal. But I'm doing that to make money, right? And if they're not doing that well, which is up for debate, then you don't necessarily make the money.
Anna, what's on your heart? I think Anna frozen. There you go. What's on your heart, Anna? Unmute.
Okay, so Xavier, you're really awesome, but I don't support it all goodwill. They take advantage of the disabled, and anybody that takes advantage of the disabled or the elder, you're worthless to me. Just saying, they make so much money and they can help so much more the community. I'm just saying, and
I think that was just an example that he was. I think that was just an example they was using. As I don't think he's saying.
Oh, I know he was. I was just saying too. Oh, I know. I was just saying too, just so that the whole world can hear an answer back to that. That's all. I was just replying back, and I know he didn't mean it like he totally supports him. I know he was just giving an example, but I asked myself now when it comes to building up, because I've been reading a lot. I'm not going to talk about everything because there's some extras I'm doing, but opening up a business, you practically have to marry that business. I'd say at least 5 years, and at least dedicate 3 more years to it. That's a long time for you to spend on that business, whatever it is, to let it succeed. Now, you guys have to, and when I say you guys, I don't mean you guys because everybody here pretty much has goals and, is already working on things. But I'm saying like nationwide and worldwide, you have to keep that in mind. Read a lot on what it is that you plan on doing, on what your goal is. Talk to people. I've spoken to one person in this panel about what my plan is and, what they thought and, should I maybe do different things? And we need to finish that conversation, by the way. But, you have to dedicate all this time if you wanted to succeed. Location is huge. Location is huge, but then you've got to ask yourself with COVID and everything, can you even have a business outside in the real world? Or is everything have to be online now? Because like Desiree's had her essential oils, she's doing pretty good online and she just started. she's practically sold out again, you know? And she keeps getting mad at me because she's like, well, can I use my money? And I'm like, you can't use your money for a while. You got to keep re-upping, you know? So, you know, because I told her, I'm not giving you money. I started your business. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to continue doing this. So with that being said, she's doing pretty good, but I wonder if what I plan on doing is going to do as good because of COVID and other things that they plan on coming. That's something we got to keep in mind as well.
Mm-hmm. And my question, my next question is this, and Christy, come to you with this. If you start a business, say it is a nonprofit, and you start it for the passion because you have a love for people, and you get into that business, and what happens when for that particular business? Should you stop? But because because you lose your passion, don't mean that the need is gone. The need is still there. So should you continue, or should you pass it on to somebody else?
Okay, before let me say this about a business. We have to remember whenever you start a business, your main thought when you first start, because a lot of people are trying to go into entrepreneurship. When you decide that you want to be an entrepreneur, that's when you decide you don't want to work for no one. That means you want to make money to sustain your life or sustain your family. So you go in looking for money. Now, to answer your question, Raheem, when people get tired, I mean, ministers get tired, pastors get tired, bishops get tired, evangelists get tired, Raheem get tired. So that's why you cannot even put your emotions in what you're doing. If you have a passion about something, for example, I talk a lot about women being molested or raped or abused or the consecration prayer. So that's a passion I have. So with that passion, if I go get my 501c and I start a woman's organization, I would definitely have to seek counseling as well for myself, because the things that you're going to see, the things that you're going to hear is going to make you tired, because then you got people that use you and make up stuff. So you have to be careful. Even if the passion leaves you, you have to kind of find that passion again. It's not to say that you should leave that business or that business is not good or stuff like that. But what it's saying is, hey, I can't do it by myself. One person cannot do it alone. That's why you get sponsors. That's why you get other people that help you. That's why whenever you're a nonprofit, you seek out grants, because grants are out there for all kinds of things that if you can write grants, or if you can look on the line and see those different grants that help your organization to help bring in staff that can help you. Because if you try to do it all by yourself with a business of that type of business by yourself, and what you're paying, like you're showering the homeless. If you start that just one mobile unit by yourself, just Raheem and nobody else, you're going to, no matter how deep your passion is, you're going to get tired. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get upset. But if you have more people helping you, where you have less, where you have more time to get yourself together. Like, like the parent, like Raheem said, okay, well, yeah, I got Monday, Wednesday, I'm gonna take and help the people shower. Then Xavier said, okay, I got Tuesday and Thursday. Leonard said, okay, I got Friday. And I said, okay, well, I got Saturday. So then now it's splitting it up to where you won't wear out as easily and you still have your passion. So I think it's all about having the right help around you and the right people surrounding you, helping you, getting those grants financially, so you won't be worried about financial gain. You have people around you helping you with the business, so then you won't wear out. But we all get tired. We're human. We're not, we're human. So our frustration and our emotions are real.
Absolutely. Wanda, what do you say to that? You started this nonprofit for the love of the people, and you have a passion. What happens when your passion, when you lose your passion, or you get in a situation where burnout is a big thing, and you find yourself burnt out? Should you step away and give it to somebody else, or should you continue?
I'm not giving anything away to anybody. Now, what I will do is, I ask the kids to all these tragic cases take a lot of energy. Now, what I will do is I will take a break. I will go on a mental vacation, or you have other people that's in place, whoever your vice president is, to step up when you need to step down and take a break. But to give something that's like things like, bring back our children, that's my baby.
Mm-hmm.
I would never, I could never just give that away to someone else. Now, what I can do is I can say, hey, listen, I'm tired. I'm tired of, you haven't really seen me. I've been posting, but for the last 2 weeks, we didn't recover every week at least 10 bodies. That is frustrating. It's also frustrating when you have 10-year-old special needs kid that doesn't get any news coverage or maybe 2 months now. So you do get tired, but would I ever be like, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore and I'm just going to hand it off to someone else? Absolutely not.
Okay. Now, is there such animal? Is there such animal? And naturally, I know the answer to this question, but this question is for everybody else that's listening. Is there such an answer as a burn? Is there such thing as a burnout? And you can find yourself burnout. And how do you know that you're there? How do you identify that?
Absolutely. And some people don't. You just know, and that's why I say, like, if you see I've really been slacking on mental health check-ins, so I gotta try to squeeze them in. But it's important because a lot of times, even with nonprofit, you're taking on someone else's problems that you don't even have to. It don't have nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
So we start taking on other people's energy, and depending on how much work it has to do, like the things that we do, like if you're an activist and you're fighting for someone's life, or someone's got children, just people don't know. They see the end result. They see the numbers. Like for instance, in Amaya's case, people see, okay, she's viral for 5 months, but they don't see that we prepped for a whole year. We plan and we strategically post and all that stuff. So it's absolutely, you will get burnt out if you allow that to be your primary focus. That's why I say I think that people need to be focused on their mental health. They need to be focused on recovery. They need to be focused on taking breaks and things like this, so you don't get burned out, because you get rather burnt out rather quickly if you don't.
Exactly. We got a call on the line. We're going to come to you in just 1 second, but I want to go to Leonard, because Leonard been in activism for a long time. Leonard, how do you know, or have you ever been to the point where it's a burnout situation? I need to step away from this thing, put it all down for a while, and come back to it later when I'm better. How do you know when you get there, Leonard, or have you ever been there?
Usually, the way I try to avoid that is the way I structure how I'm doing it. Now, say for instance, with if you're in activism, when you're dealing with office hours and things like that, you can arrange your schedule. But I always tell people that you should incorporate it into your schedule to avoid the burnout. Because if you think about it, like they just said, everybody can get burned out.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why you have to plan for it.
So if a person, excuse me, if a person is to that point where they burned out or potentially burned out, Leonard, do that person always know, or do they have to have somebody in their corner say, hey brother, hey, won't you and go over there, take about a week off or something like that, man. Take the family, someone, just relax. Go ahead.
It really just depends on that particular person. Now, if you don't schedule like your free time and stuff appropriately, I think me and Tawana have commented about it a lot, because I follow Tawanda and what she does, and at some point, something has to give. Like she says, people see the end results, but a lot of times they don't see what you've been doing or how long you've been doing it. They don't really see the interaction with the family, the coming and going, and those things of that nature. So you have a person like me, who has always volunteered this way, but we have to put it into perspective. I may have a schedule that if you're working, you got a vacation, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're working for somebody else, you would take a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
If you're working for yourself, you're going to have to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of people get very much involved in what they do, especially on the activist side, especially people who feed people regularly.
But Leonard, can it be draining though, brother? You know, let's cut through the mustard for
It
a
ain't.
second.
It's no more draining than working at the plant.
No, Leonard, when you're dealing with people's lives, brother, you're dealing directly with their lives and the trauma and stuff that they go through, man. You know, that's to me.
You may not be fit for it.
Let me say exactly, and that could be a point too. But let me say this. If a person worked at the factory, like you said just now, they can get physically tired. They go home, they lay down, take a nap, get up, they feel better. But in that type work that you're talking about, in activism and stuff like that, that's more of it's not a physical tired, it's a more of a mental and a draining tired.
If you overdo it, yes.
That's my point. How does a person know when they're overdoing it?
It depends on what happens. See, this is the thing about it. It's not like you don't know. There are some people who are just, and it's not a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Good deal.
And I think just because you're doing something good, you think it is you do it to death.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't even do that to death. It's like I usually tell people, I have a little business thing, and I have to let them know up front before we engage in anything. Nothing that you want is urgent to me.
Mm-hmm.
Period. You don't stop me. And like, I remember when I used to manage people, it's not that I didn't want to talk to you, but one, I have another process for you to discuss things with me.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know how sometimes you walk through the office and everybody want to run up to you and blah. That's not how this works.
Yeah. Back up off me.
You go to Outlook or whatever, and you go to schedule some time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you have to put it into perspective. I've worked a lot better that way, with it in perspective. If you want to get burned out, you will be burned out, because those are people who don't have no self-discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got what Tawanda does and what I used to do. There are certain parts of activism I never wanted to be a part of.
That's interesting.
And because that's not what I do best.
Mm-hmm.
I don't usually like to be on intake, especially with suicide calls or things of that nature.
Now, for the people that may not know and be educated, explain what intake is.
Intake is usually what happens and how someone engages you. Whatever service or whatever you providing, it's the engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in activism, I don't usually like to be the person at the scene.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not usually the person that wants to be there when the body fresh. Okay.
Yeah.
Or there are just so many abuse stories I'm going to hear at one time.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to come up with a way to discipline that. Like, say, for instance, when someone comes in an initial consult, let's say if I was charging for that, initial consult is a certain amount of money per hour.
Mm-hmm.
The minimum is an hour. I'm not going to listen to you for 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to
under no circumstances.
No, because at some point you're going to exhaust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't even like to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
So I space things out appropriately. Like I believe someone else was telling you, you ain't gonna do it by yourself. You get help.
Yeah.
To keep from getting exhausted.
Delegate,
you organize things away that you can meet the need. If that's the type of business that you're in, you have to come up with a way to realistically meet the need. Who's like, for instance, pastors, for instance. You can't call me 24 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
I will not even usually agree to something like that. Because one, I'm going to get sick of you calling me.
But see, and hold on, let's stay right there. Let me go to Xavier, then I'm gonna go to the phone line. I got more callers on the phone line. I gotta go to Xavier. Now, as a pastor, leading the church, you don't have any don't call me hours. Or some people might try to set those, but at the same time, a person can't control when trauma come into their life sometimes. So what do you do in that instance?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think, and you guys alluded to this earlier, my job is to head the church, but I am not the only person that can pray for somebody if something traumatic happened. I am not, I don't have this magic power where I'm the only one that can fix something. So you got associate ministers, you got deacons, you have ministry teams. And if I'm pastoring a church, you're going to work.
Xavier, now you know, truth of the matter, you've been in this situation before. 9 times out of 10, they don't want to go to those people. The first person they're going to call. First person they're going to call. Let's keep this 100.
You're
first person
you're absolutely right. But that's so if that's the way he has structured his ministry, that's fine. Jesus didn't do it by himself. Jesus, I mean, come on now. He went and found 12 dudes and said, "Hey, let's do this thing." When he sent out, come on now. Jesus didn't go out and heal everybody. He sent them to do work. A pastor needs to get some more training, need to get a mentor. If he in there trying to run the church and do everything himself. Listen, this is how you get caught up in foolishness. This is exactly how. You trying to tote an entire ministry of people on your shoulder and you the only one. You bottleneck the power of God in your church if you the only person that can pray. You the only person that can go up to the hospital when somebody died. You the only person that can go out to the jail. I'm not doing that. Because remember what Paul told Timothy. He said, if a man desires the position of a bishop, he must first be a good steward over his own house. So what it look like I'm the only person at home that wash dishes. And you got wife, kids, and everybody else at the house. I'm the only person that do anything at the house. Man, they ain't lost their mind.
Tell them.
So if I'm pastoring the church, before we even get started, we finna have a meeting and I'm finna lay down the structure because the devil is a lie. Because what happens now you out here, Mr. Pastor, serving everybody, doing everything.
You took this job. You took this job. Now, Pastor, I expect you to be over there praying for these people. You took this job.
Right.
You took this job.
That's exactly what I took. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to let the church tell me how to do what God done appointed me to do. Now, we ain't going to do that.
Well, God put you as the shepherd. Now, I ain't never seen no sheep go get another sheep. I seen the shepherd go get the sheep. And when one went out and now the shepherd didn't send. He didn't send no another sheep to go get that one. He went himself.
He sure did. He sure did. And they can do all of that. What I'm telling them is what I'm going to do. So you can sit up and say the shepherd went and did this and the shepherd went and did that. Look, I ain't. Because at the end of the day, I got to play with my kids. I got to have good energy for them. You know what I'm saying? That's what business too. If your business is growing, you the only person.
You know somebody serious. You know somebody serious when they say I ain't. They don't all this education stuff. They don't put all the education stuff to the side.
I ain't. You know how many pastors I done seen. They serve the church so much, but your kids and your wife despise you because you ain't at home. But the church love you.
Yeah,
everybody at the church is with you, but you ain't there for your own kids. But you there praying for Sister Lula Mae's son who in jail for the 8th time, but you can't go to your own child's house. Man, the devil is a lie.
Why the man got to be in jail 8 times, Xavier? Why the man got to?
I'm just telling you the stuff I had to do. Man. I'm just telling you what I had to deal with. So I'm just saying.
Right. Do y'all remember? I always look. I'm a movie buff, so I always put things in line with movies. Do y'all remember the movie with Whitney Houston, Preacher's Wife?
Yes.
So, and you know, the angel came.
Whitney finna lay up with the angel.
You stop it.
Whitney finna lay up with the doggone angel.
The angel fell in love with her first. Now, don't play. But, you know, it was a pastor who was devoted to his church, but kind of missed out on his family. And that's one thing. Like, my church is small. The church that I'm an evangelist of is a small church. So it's very easy for my pastor to do, to take phone calls and to do different things like that. But if you're in a mega church, and in one of those it's impossible for one guy or one minister, male or female, to do all the things that's needed in that mega church. That would be so tiresome. And I mean, I wouldn't even imagine You know, you have some ministers that are ministers over 3 and 4 churches, and they're mega. So you definitely need ministers and help. And I think that's where education come in, where the pastor should educate the church, you know. You know, I'm not the only one to pray. You know, like the song says, sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Sometimes you have to pat your own self on the back. You know, sometimes we got to go and pray for ourselves. Sometimes we got to fast. We got to pray. We got to read our scriptures. We got to make sure our prayer go through so our ministers won't have to work so hard. And it's okay to call on your minister when there's some hard stuff that you can't handle. And when Leonard was talking, I love intake. I'm one of those ones. I love intake. I can be there to talk to you, help you through. I really do love it. But you do have to have a point in time where you release. You have to have prayer. You have to have meditation. You have to be able not to carry that with you. You have to have some form of a release to release that intake, because seeing some things and hearing some things every day, all day about someone being hurt, or that it can get in your mind. That's why women or doctors or nurses who work in NIC, ICU, they get stress pay because they're around children, babies that are dying, babies that are needing help. So when you are faced with that every day, you have to have some form of release. And even in your business, even if you're a nonprofit, whatever your gang is, you have to have a point of release. And like Tawanda was saying, you do have to have a moment of where you have a vacation for 2 weeks, where you leave it to your vice president, where you do whatever you have to do to maintain your wholeness. Because that's the thing, we have to be a whole. You have to be complete. And you have to be in a space to make great decisions. If you burnt out and tired, you're going to make decisions out of frustration.
Okay. Now I got to pick at you. Christy, I got to pick at you for a second. You know, you my sister, I
Go
love you,
ahead.
right? Who in the world is Tawanda?
I was thinking about Wakanda.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I'm gonna let her slide with that one.
Who in the world is Tawanda?
Tawanda.
Who in the world is Tawanda? Maybe you know somebody different. You got a twin over there?
Yeah.
You got a twin over there?
You see, I'm getting good.
Y'all know that's my southern coming in. We call Tawanda.
She said, and just like Tawanda said, I said, oh, we got somebody else on the line. Hold on, I missed somebody. But look, Donna Tucson, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Tucson.
Yes, I'm doing okay.
What you been listening for a minute, brother? What's on your heart?
You know, it's in all that we were talking and you all were talking about, and I think about the heart of a servant, whether it's nonprofit or whether it's a business. If you don't have a heart of a servant, you're not going to do too well. I'm just saying, because it's just, you have to, the customer or the one that you're in it for. Yeah. You're performing a service that they need to be satisfied with, or they need to be helped by. And you know, I'm just glad to be among such a crowd of witnesses here. I'm gonna just have to tell y'all, I don't know how I wound up in this bunch right here, but I thank God for you all, because I hear some amazing things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise God for you as well.
It's a point of time, because you know, I thank God for you all. I learn a lot. I listen. I'm a careful listener. But I hear some stuff that lately come out some stuff, and I'm just saying, where's this guy come from? You know, because you know, I wait for Leonard to say something.
No telling what you're gonna get in. Go ahead.
Just a good,
ain't no telling what you're gonna get in.
Just a good. You never know, but you're gonna learn something if you listen. One other thing is that I listen to. You can't be so dedicated to what you're doing that you start neglecting where you live. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
You know, everybody know you but your family. You're gonna be without one. Your children, your children see you helping everybody, and they need help with their homework. So we have to have a balance. And this is trial and error. This is learning by trial and error. Okay? But we can't be so dedicated. I see pastors all the time. Boy, they are the my pastor is the best pastor in the world. And the children like, who is you talking about? And that's country. That was country. That was more country than.
Yeah, it was country. That was country, brother. That was country, brother.
That was country.
Yeah,
that was country.
Yeah.
I had to let that out.
That was way down deep.
Ain't that right, Takawana?
Takawana.
Man, I appreciate being among you all. I really mean that. Thank you all.
We appreciate you as well, brother. We definitely appreciate it. And you say it all the time. I said, Donna, you said something that time, then he said my mouth was moving. I said, okay, that Leonard, we'll leave that right there. He said, my mouth was moving. That's your brother there, Leonard. What's on your heart, bro? Talk to me.
It's good to be on too, listening to people. And when I started with activism, it was really major. It was the result of an issue I had personally. And towards the end of that, it came the dedication to what it was I was trying to do. And just like Christy, I always tell people when I'm trying to get them involved in organization, get in where you fit in. Because that is where it is you need to be. You may not be the person that's great on the phone. I have some people who have volunteered and all they want to, they just sort the mail. Make sure the mail get where it's supposed to go. Sometimes they do the outbound calling. It frees me up to do more things. And so, especially when you're doing it from a volunteer perspective, when no money is involved, you can focus on the service and things of that nature. So when we were talking about initially a business, what is the business that you're doing? What does the business take? These are things you should really be aware of before you get involved. I love what Pastor Johnson said, Xavier. You gotta do better. I mean, it just makes sense to surround yourself with good people to help relieve that stress. You have to plan for it because it's coming. Now, I know some people, they always working. And I'm like, okay, so when do you take a break? When I get one. That's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
It's going to be an issue. I mean, I'm just going to wait because you're going to have an issue. Or, how some not an excuse is half these people can't cook for their families and everything because they work too much.
Yeah.
So, you gotta put it into perspective. That's why I used to tell people it's not that people want you to force you to do what they want you to do, especially when it comes to being a Christian. You still got to have discipline in that. Because one, like you said, you all at the church, but your house is failing. You out of order. It don't matter. Well, God called me to do this, and if He'd have called you to do all that, He probably wouldn't have gave you a wife and kids. I got one brother right now. He's never been married. He has no kids. We about to be 50, and now he's questioning why he has not had a relationship and why he doesn't have this, that, and the other. Is something wrong with him? No. So I said, well, do you want to get married? He says, yes, but the person I marry has to understand my commitment to the church. You know what I told him? Don't get married. Don't get married. If you're that much into your church, don't get married.
Marry your church.
If you're just that committed,
marry your church.
Marry your church and do that for the rest of your life. Because what you don't do is marry somebody and then expect your relationship to take a back seat to what you're doing up at the church.
But it sounds, and I don't know the person. I have no idea who you're talking about. So if that person is listening, I don't know you. and so I'm certainly not talking about you. But my thing, it sounds like they're not happy or pleased with where they are, because
it's not just that.
They're longing for something that evidently, and I hate to say it this way, and I love the church, I love the whole everything that is the church, but evidently there's something missing in his life that the church is not fulfilling, and so he's reaching out, but he don't know how to travel that road, and connect the dots, if you will.
Well, I don't know about all that, but his expression to me
went too deep.
I mean, it's just, bruh, it's like I tell people, you tell me, you give me the information, I don't add. Now you tell me what's going on with you and why you don't want to do A, B, or C, but don't put me in it.
Yeah.
You know, that's your business, because I'm, you know, you fit in and you ain't got no kids and ain't got no wife. And you know, I always tell them, I say, well, do you still want kids? Yeah. Well, you're going to have to fool with a younger woman. Do you really want to do that? You know, at your age, do you want to put up with a 30-year-old woman making babies at 50? You know, you may benefit, brother, by giving your life wholly to the church. But these are one of the issues.
Trying to catch a 10-year-old.
And I'll let Pastor Xavier expound on it. But this is one of the issues, the dilemmas of Christianity in the text. The Bible tells you the position. Matter of fact, that's why you can't have more than one wife and do certain things. It wasn't that you couldn't have several wives, but it was if you're gonna do this job, you can't have several wives. You know what I'm saying?
The one I got keep me on my toes, bro. I know I don't need no 2 or 3. No,
right. And you know, one of the things that's very difficult, especially from a Christian point of view, is to mediate that. And you have to do that, you know, carefully. Because one thing the Bible, it tells you about all the great work the disciples and Jesus did, but don't talk about no women. Don't talk about no wives. Don't talk about none of that. So these are people that were wholly dedicated to their word and the work that they were doing. So you have to, as a pastor, you are the leader. You should be the one pushing people to have a balanced relationship with the church and church service. Because it's easy to get, you know, like I say, get caught up in something, in anything. And overdo it, you know. Absolutely. So you have to plan not to.
Let me go to one. We got Kurt. Kurt, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Morning, bro. Morning, fellas. What's going on?
Kurt.
On the Globe family.
Man, look at
appreciate y'all this morning, man.
Hey, appreciate you as well, brother. We're talking about, and the question that we have, you know, this is Black Friday. We're talking about should making money be the number one pillar in your business? Should that be the number one function in your business, making money? Or should there be other elements that actually take a lead to making money?
Well, making money should be the bonus. Your business, and business. I'm a liberal, so you know what I mean. I have liberal leaning thoughts, so I may speak biasly about this, but your business should be of service. Every single business, I don't care what you make. If you're making widgets, you're providing some kind of service or access to a group of people. So if your ideology is just, I'm just going into business to make money, you could do anything. I mean, you know, you could be a dope boy, you know what I mean? If it's just all about making money, you know, then your business will probably have no conscience. But, you know, I mean, that's to each his own, however people feel like they need to govern themselves. It's funny that that's your question, because both me and my baby boy had a talk last night. He can hear us. I got y'all on speaker in the car.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
And we had a talk. Oh, go ahead. He probably didn't hear you. Morning.
Good deal. Good deal. We got to bring him in. Go ahead. We got to bring him into the conversation as well, Kurt, at some point, man. I want to hear his viewpoint on this too. But go ahead, Kurt.
Okay. We had a conversation last night because I'm ready to take it back to South Carolina for strength and conditioning for the football season. And I have to consider signing a waiver saying that if he does strength and conditioning, and if he plays, the school system is not going to be held liable if he contracts COVID-19. And I got some issues with that when I think in terms of the things that the school earn if they win, the things that's sold during the football game, the t-shirts, the hats, the pom-poms, da-da-da-da-da. You know, and it's like, okay, I'm in prayer all weekend, bro, because I'm saying to myself, do I even take a chance of sacrificing my kid's life for a situation that I think y'all can figure out my conundrum here, but I'm trying to figure out how to word it, man. It took me some time to explain it to him last night. You know, to have me and his mother sign off on this form, and God forbid something go wrong. I mean, I can only imagine what his mother's going to feel if this thing go totally left. You know what I mean? You know, like, hey, sign over, you know, and then the idea that, you know, if it goes left, that he has to lay there by himself. He's only 14 years old, man. You know, I'm just, I don't know. But speaking from a business perspective, it's like the school system and the school districts are only thinking about what they have to do. It's like they're not thinking about, in this administration period, they're not thinking about how what they have to do is adversely affecting each and every household in America, man. Like, this is crazy. And from a business perspective, if that's your idea that I'm gonna do what I do, I don't care. I don't. You know, your question remind me of the coal miners in West Virginia. About the people here it is. You got people dying that we don't even see in the news reports. We got existing conditions that happen as a result. We got medical conditions that happen as a result of those people working in those coal mines, man. That we don't even hear about, and the companies ain't paying nothing. So, right, your question is a really good one, but I'm gonna be honest. I really don't know how to answer or how I feel about it right now.
That's good. I'm with you. Tawanda, what's on your heart?
I mean, I can relate to everything he's saying. My son would be a senior this year. Last year he had scouts coming to check him out, so this will be his third year in basketball and football. And like, and we talked about this today. We returned to school, and we talked about this death waiver. It's utterly ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. That we're even considering having to do this. Not only for sports, this is just to send your child back to school in general. It's insane to me. It's insane. So you know, you have to really weigh out the options. Now I know a lot of parents that, you know, my son worked hard for this year. He worked hard, but I mean, does it come at the price of his potential life? No. Now, can he get it? And well, yeah, it's one of the primary primary things when you lose your bodily fluids, and sweat is just happens to be one of them. So anybody, even my son. Now my son is a little bit different because he's grown. Well, he's 18. He wants to say he's grown, but so the only thing that we could do is we could try to explain to them. Right now they don't understand. We don't even understand what's going on. So to think that they can, understand and process it, it's a nightmare situation. But that's why I say that it's good. Many weeks I'll say is good with this whole digital world, because the same way.
Hey, Tawana, you're breaking up on us.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, you're breaking
up.
Yeah, much better.
Okay. I think I might have slightly moved, but I mean, it's just happened to adapt to your environment and the surroundings. We don't know when we're ever going to get out of this whole COVID thing. You hear people every day is a whole different ball game right now, and they're talking about we might be in this to summer 2022. Okay, that's a long time.
That's a long time.
So this is why it's good to switch to virtual. It's good to switch to digital stuff, because you might not have a brick and mortar to go back to. What are they going to do? And I say they prime example every week, and it's a good point to make. I like being able to wake up to money. I like being able to, if I had a brick and mortar, could someone that's a night owl like me shop at my store at 2 o'clock in the morning? Absolutely not, because it's not open. But when you do the digital side, they can shop 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whenever they feel like it, because it's available. So, it's always some negative, and then it's always some positive. I like to try to look at the positive, side of things. But to me, for me to keep my business afloat, it needs to generate some kind of money.
That's good. Donna, what's on your heart? Donna, you there? Donna.
You got me confused with Donna.
Attraction. Like we dysfunctional. Yeah. But anyways, if money is your aim, you it's good. It's gonna happen, but you're gonna have to have some patience. And one thing you just mentioned is and I got this mask on, so I'm gonna take it off. We don't have to find another way other than brick and mortar and how to make it work. Because, take for instance, we had decided to go back into the church. Well, come Sunday, we're going back outside because things changed. So now, what you gonna do? Keep going back and forth? Not necessarily settle, but find a way to do what we always say. The church is in you. I'm just using this for example.
Yes.
I'm not just talking about church. I'm talking about business. I'm talking about non-profit, profit organizations. You're going to have to find a way to do your service or do your business other than brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Trial and error. It has been done because, for example, a lot of bookstores have closed their doors, or they sell books every day.
Yep, exactly.
They sell more books now than they ever sold before. People are contacting or talking to or speaking to or ministering to people that have never heard from them, don't know who they are, almost, but we're just gonna have to find another way.
Exactly.
But it is through online, internet places and services like, because BKM is a service to more than who you think, and because it is, a lot of people are being blessed through you all, because you're speaking out, you're talking about some things, you're having conversations that puts ideas in people's mind that they never thought of. So that's what I had on.
Hey, to God be the glory, brother. To God be the glory. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Rico, you there? Rico, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Xavier, I'm muting his phone over there. He may be talking away, man. We can't hear him though. But Xavier, what's on your heart?
It is. Kurt said a mouthful, brother, and we're definitely praying for you, man. And the Lord leads you in the best direction that for your household, man. And definitely we ask the Lord to dispatch angels over your son, man. So but here's the other perspective for the school systems, and this is what they won't come publicly and say. It's not the school systems that's requiring the waivers. It's the insurance companies for the school systems that's requiring that. The other component is that we've always had to sign waivers for our kids to play high school sports. Always. If your child break their ankle, bump their head, you're not going in to sue the school. That's you said that is a component of the sport. So with all of that said, that there is a business component to that from the insurance side. The school systems, unfortunately, nationally, we haven't received any direction, so we don't really know what's going to happen there. As far as brick and mortar businesses, though, let me tell you, the businesses that die are the ones that do not watch trends and that do not plan for the current times. If COVID is the first time you thought about taking your business online, you're behind a decade, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Amazon shut down bookstores. When Amazon launched, they shut down bookstores. When Redbox launched, they shut down, Blockbuster Video, because they got to the party too late as it related to online business, to e-commerce. And so if you're not looking at these trends, and no matter what your business is, if you have a thrift store, how easy is it for you to just either build an e-commerce site for your thrift store, or place them on Amazon, place them on eBay. And there's literally hundreds of sites. You can even go to Facebook Marketplace, and just post your items for sale. Our businesses, especially in our community, guys, this is what I do. I got 3 businesses right now. I had 5 before the pandemic, and there were some that just took, the pandemic just took out a photo booth business, where we went to events and we, did a photo booth, right, with props and everything. The event stopped, so there wasn't much we could do with that. There's some businesses that will definitely fall by the wayside, but there are others that we have to listen to those in our community that are in business, that are attempting to coach. You could go to my Facebook, my business page, the Ask Xavier J page, and I sit on there for hours, 2 and 3 hours, giving free business advice to businesses. And I had a friend of mine say, man, why do you do it? Like, you're giving away thousands of dollars worth of information. And I said, if I thought they would use it, I wouldn't do it. Anybody using it? I get people that'll come every single week and ask the exact same question every week. I have people that they'll believe somebody that don't look like me that walks in their door and sells them some foolishness. And I'm giving you the free information, and then months later your business shut down. And I ain't gonna call this business name, but it happened. They didn't believe what I told them. I donated my marketing company's services to this business for them to grow, expand. I set up websites, all the digital and social media marketing campaigns. We did it all. They're buzzing. I told them, I said, do not run it. The guy came in while I was there. I said, don't run no ad with the local cable network. Don't do that. Don't do it, because who they market to or who watches their stuff is not walking in your restaurant. They said, okay. It wasn't 60 days later, they signed a contract with the folks. Wasn't 60 days and couldn't pay it. And the folks threatened to sue them. And this is one of our businesses that don't trust the words that are coming out of our mouths. You get what I'm saying? And so as we're, as Blackout Friday, my prayers, that folks are listening and taking notes with this stuff that we're talking about, because this is valuable information. This is information that could literally bring you out of debt. This is information, even if you work a 9 to 5, you could start a side business. If you didn't make but $1,000 a month in the business, imagine being able to pay your house off 10 years early. You get what I'm saying? By just starting a side hustle, cleaning houses, painting stuff, cutting grass, whatever it is. So there's a ton of information that's coming out right now that my prayer is valuable to
one of the things, Xavier, that that's hurting us. We a lot of time think that some of the businesses that you name right there that could be very lucrative, we think that they're beneath us.
Isn't it amazing? Let me tell you something. So my training that I work with folks on is to help them tap into these innate businesses that are in us, right? They're in us. But everybody online is telling you, well, I can teach you to make $1 million by making videos on YouTube. Pay me $300 right now. And they do it. But yet your grandmama gave you the secret recipe to pound cakes. And they'll go to Publix and pay Publix $300 and $400 for a wedding cake. And you can make cakes just as good, if not better, but yet you won't start your cake making business. Or you cut grass. One of my mentors retired from the sheriff's department, 30 years here in Henry County. He made $170,000 a year with cutting grass for the last 20 years.
It ain't gonna stop growing. I tell you that. It ain't
gonna stop growing. He cut grass. And so we put these things aside and say, okay, let me try to do something easy. Leonard alluded to it a few times this week. There is no easy way out. There is no easy, you can sit in the AC all day and do No, we pray for God to bring us. That's probably the biggest prayer that God hears. That's the question that I'm asking. Everybody want to ask God something. I just want to hear, what is everybody praying about? What they asking you for? And most folk are asking for some sort of financial blessing, some kind of. That's why they got the lottery number stuffed in the crease of the Bible. But you won't use the gift that's in you.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Rico. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm out here getting it.
Deal. There you go. Tell me what's on your heart, brother. You've been listening for a minute. What's on your heart?
Tell me where you want me to go, y'all. It don't went a few places. Where you want me? Well, where I go, I'll take it. I'll take it. I think you asked that about the first question. Was that about profit, the business profit? And I believe every objective of a business or any organization is success. And with it, some businesses, that success would equate to profits, but profits can also equal gains. So now if you have a nonprofit, it won't be successful without you having gains and people that you're trying to serve. So if it's a for-profit business, of course, they got to look out for profit. It won't be successful. They won't continue to exist. What would be the purpose? Nobody would go out there to give away things to break even or to lose. They have to see a profit in it, but also they want to see success with the product. So it has to be a quality involved too. Or they want another, like I said, they won't survive. You're going to lose either way if it doesn't have any quality in it. So I think as far as the profit part of it, that definitely has to be a part of it, depending on what your mission or your goal is. And like I said, I think every organization or business, its goal is to be successful on whatever the goal is, or whatever agenda they're trying to achieve. It's all about being successful. Now, can you get burnt out? Yeah, you can get burnt out. But with being a leader, being an advocate, or being a representative, that comes with the territory. A lot of stuff comes with the territory, good and bad. You got to be ready for it. But I feel like if your passion is sincere, you will come back to it. You might have to take a break, but you won't just give up on it. The only way I feel like you give up on it is your passion wasn't truly there. And the reason why I say that, because there's been other times that I tried to give up on things that I was passionate about, and I couldn't. It called me right back to it, which is advocating for the vulnerable, advocating for children, advocating for the weak. You know, it's no matter how tough it gets, you know, and like I said, you have to go in knowing that there's certain things that comes with the territory, which means that you got to fight that entity that caused that situation that you're fighting against, that caused that plight on behalf of the people that you represent. It ain't easy. You got to have other people. You got to put people beside you, not that just have a name, but they got to have that same passion. And that passion has to come with willpower and resilience if you want to be successful. So, I mean, you know, I think you will get burnt out. It's easy to get burnt out, but you surround yourself with people that got the same passion as you got, that want to accomplish the same goals. That way, when you take a break, you know, you can depend on them to keep the train rolling. And then, you know, if you get called back to it, which 9 times out of 10 you will, because like I said, if you're truly passionate about it, it's gonna be hard to keep you away from it, you know?
Yeah. That's good. That's good. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Anna, coming to you next.
I'm just listening, and I think like what we're mostly talking about is for people who own businesses, how to reduce their stress when it comes to certain things so it don't affect the business. But this notion that you can just work yourself into oblivion is crazy. And so as I had to put a lot of things in place for that to keep from happening. This is a lot of the reasons why I do not get engaged with contracts and things of that nature with people. I'm going to do what I can do for you, but at no point will it become a situation where I feel like I'm indebted to you or anything like that. I usually tell people exactly what I can do, so there's no misunderstanding. So if we focus on that, I think the common business thing we used to let people know, it's better to under promise and over deliver. And you have to always be cognizant of the fact you are not an infinite source of power. You know what I'm saying? You got to sleep, you got to rest, you got to eat. You can't keep spending money in a business and not writing it down.
Come on.
You should know what your bottom line is. You should know what your bottom line is on your spreadsheet, just like in your personal life. And too many times you have people. So you know, some people get in over their head, and I started the business of consulting, basically to help people avoid a lot of things. So it's not having passion or what have you. The passion will keep you doing the business.
Yeah.
It'll keep you involved in what you're in. But you also have to manage that passion. Because the moment you never know. Like say for instance, if you got a business partner or anything like that, or you may need a business partner and don't have one already. Sometimes when the business becomes too much, you may have to sell the entire thing. But that's in a traditional sense. And, you know, you had put this other spin on it about it being nonprofit. The issue is, what is the motive? Before you start a business, you have a mission or a vision. You should stay true to your mission or your vision. And the people who have those business plans have sat down and took that time to take into consideration these things. It's not that you shouldn't have opened a business because of OSHA. You're talking about your shower business, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not a reason not to open a business.
Mm-hmm.
The objective is to learn everything you can about OSHA to get qualified to do what you need to do. If that's what your passion is,
mm-hmm.
that's the objective. Go find out what OSHA requires. It's not that you go find something else to do because you said that was your passion. That was what you wanted to do. So you have to invest in doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to find out what insurances are necessary and all these types of things. It's like if you had a food truck.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it than just going out there parking and selling food.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, so just like you have to do those things to start a business, you have to do certain things to maintain a business. A lot of businesses lose first 3 years or so. You know, people that just start up businesses or what have you from the ground up. A lot of times, if you don't have that particular product that just takes off, you build your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I hate to see people that hang on to a business too long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or a business there's no longer a demand for whatever it is you have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to adjust like they were talking about. I'm surprised to see Redbox still out there.
Why? Because of the digital era?
Yeah, surprised to see it. But there still is a market for Redbox.
Well, see, and what people don't understand, and Kirk knows a lot about this as well. I go to him right now. Redbox.
I want to talk about what Kirk says here, so come back to me.
Okay. Kirk was talking, me and Kirk talked about in the past how Redbox, when they came, and Blockbuster was Blockbuster was it, man. Blockbuster will stay packed every weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. When you get in Blockbuster, man, you can't even get a movie because you know it was that much in demand. And Kirk, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here, big bro.
And tell them about the story of Blockbuster and what happened with them when Redbox approached them.
Oh yeah, Redbox approached Blockbuster to partner with them initially, and Blockbuster arrogantly chose not to, and Redbox moved on with what they was doing. As a result of Redbox moving on with what they was doing, they put Blockbuster out of business.
Yes,
I think it's only one Blockbuster left in the whole entire country. I think it's in California or Oregon.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And so they had the idea, they had the whole concept, and that's what Leonard was saying. You have to be in a roundabout way. Leonard was saying you have to be able to adjust with the times because Blockbuster now it doesn't exist. Redbox is still swinging. Now, how much longer are they going to be swinging with this digital era? They may have to do something different as well. They may have to do something different in order to keep themselves going. Tawana saying she got to run. Tawana, what's on your heart? Talk to me before you get out of here.
Oh, so I just got to run because I have a call that I have to take. But you know, it's always, I love Black Friday, everything about Black Friday. And hopefully this is encourage more people to call in. Because you know, we said as long as we were in need, we would continue to do the show. I just want people to use it effectively. Because you know we're always changing and we're always trying to outdo ourselves. We have some things that we're going to be introducing to Black Friday. I think that you know the idea is to spend the whole Friday doing some Black Friday-ish stuff. So I just encourage anybody that is a Black entrepreneur to call in and promote your business. I tell these people every week, part of the problem is advertising and promotion. You start this business and you expect people to know who you are.
Yeah.
No one knows who you are.
Exactly. And unless you put yourself out there, you got to put yourself out there sometime, man. And sometime one of the ways of putting yourself out there is coming to DKM Media Group and Associates. See how I broke the thing down? Coming to DKM Media Group and Associates. We have another caller. I think it's Xavier. Xavier, are you there? Tawana, appreciate you, sis.
Yep, I'm here.
What's on your heart, brother?
No, nothing much. I'm just listening to you know this convo, man. And the young lady's right, man. I mean, we are struggling with advertising and promotion. And and it goes a little deeper than that. When we talked about at the top of the call, we talked about profit, right? And our businesses, are they serving their purpose, right? Are they meeting their mission? And it's important that in the marketing, and this is one little tip that I'll give in any business that is looking for customers, which all of you should be. But when you're speaking to your customers, you have to get out of your own way trying to sound like your business. You have to sound like the voice that your customers are experiencing, that whatever their pain point is. Let me say it a different way. That don't use the terminology for your business. Use the terminology that solves the customer's problem.
Yeah.
So if I'm a lawn service guy, if I'm a lawn tech, I got a lawn business, I don't want to go and say, look, I can do, I can maintain your lawn. I don't want to say that because that's my terminology, right? It's not theirs. What the customer wants to hear is, I can cut your grass every other Monday morning and be there by 9 a.m. That's what because that's their language, right? And so oftentimes when I see our businesses, we do market, we tell people to give us money, but we're not giving anything in return. One of my best friends here in McDonough, he has a partner and they have they're barbers. We were just talking last night and I congratulated him because their barbershop serves the community. I mean, almost in a nonprofit capacity. I mean, they've given away hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of toys, school supplies. I mean, they grind hard for these local schools. They've done more in their barbershop than most nonprofits have done. And that's the nonprofit's focus, right? But the way that they do their business, the way that they speak to their customer base is they are community barbers, right? So they tell you about how they can, make you look good and all that great stuff. But when people walk into the business, they see something different. They see that these are great barbers, but they also see a business that supports kids in the local community. So as we are getting ready to market or doing our marketing, go back and look at your stuff. Right? Look at it. Make sure that you're not speaking to people who understand the language. Speak to people in their language, right? That's the idea. And we can touch on acts if we want to, but a lot of businesses are marketing in tongues, and we need to market in the language of the people that we're trying to get to walk into our business in a manner that solves their problem, whatever it is. Whatever it is, it's DKM, and they're talking about advertising. We need to, and you said it earlier, that when you, come over and advertise with us, because we can expose you to customers in 58 countries, right? That's the language of the people for businesses. So if I'm a business owner and I'm listening to you, that's what I want to hear, right? That's what I'm looking for, that exposure. I don't want to hear, I can put you on Facebook, right? Because that's not going to help me. So we need to begin to think about that as we are marketing and trying to get more exposure for our business, is speaking the language that our customers understand, because oftentimes they see it, but they don't understand what you're saying.
Good deal. Let's go to Rico. Rico, anything on your heart right now, brother? Donna, come to you next.
I'm just listening right now, man, but y'all might need to skip over me because I'm fixing to hit some heavy traffic.
Okay,
y'all ain't gonna be able to hear me.
Donna, what's on your heart, brother?
No, it's like kind of like what I practice. Make your point. Make your point. When you start advertising or talking about your product or your service, give it to them. It's kind of like building a sermon. So in your introduction, tell them what you're about to tell them. And then in your body, tell them what you said you was going to say. And then in your closing, not necessarily repeat yourself, but review what you said. So that it would put the things in their minds, what you wanted them to know. But don't ramble. Sometimes we ramble in business and and people don't know really what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you really have to make your point, and because people want to be satisfied.
Yeah.
Because you said that you can provide a service.
Mm-hmm.
You said you can help them. So when they come to you, they're gonna be looking for that.
Yeah.
So
when
you're putting yourself out there, make your point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your work. When you start doing it, make sure it's quality.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna look for what you say.
Mm-hmm.
And then make it an aim to let your work speak for itself.
Exactly.
That way, when they come and look, they say, "Oh, I see what you're doing already." So it has to make it appealing to people.
Good deal. Now, Leonard, do you think a lot of times, and I'm coming to you next too, Leonard, do you think a lot of times in a presentation, a person could talk themselves into and out of a client?
Well, it really depends. I don't believe you should get to that point where you're making a presentation and you ain't practiced and let somebody else hear it and all these other things. So the presentation itself should be practiced and rehearsed in the first place. Now, I think what the problem is, you may talk about something that does not, excuse me, that don't actually relate to what it is that you're providing. And I used to have a problem with a lot of people, especially from the Black business strategy. And the first thing they do is they come in and insult everybody and everything and tell you how awful it is you doing this, that, or the other, and how you not doing as well as you could be. But guess what? When we do business with ourselves and blah, 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 show me your numbers on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Provide me some statistics to what you're saying. Or how much money did you make last year and how did you do it? When you get down to asking the question portion, you should also be prepared for the answers that you give. Because I've seen a lot of people that come in and the way they try to get you to do business with them is talk to you and tell you how awful it is you was raised and how your folks didn't teach you about business and blah, 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 blah. See, you assumed a certain thing about your audience that may or may not be true. So your presentation is really not catered to the audience.
Yeah.
That's where I see the most problems. Or there's some people who think they can lead with a negative. You know, sometimes that don't work. And a lot of times these, you know, somebody say, are you tired of this, that, and the other? See, that's a pitch.
Yeah.
To get you to buy. But that may not be a great pitch to maintain a healthy business relationship with a client. That's usually, like I say, a one-night stand type of pitch. Because that's all it is.
Leonard, when you get a client, and I know there's no absolute answer to this. There's no absolute answer to this, and I'm certainly not asking you for that. But what is the best way? And talk. I want you to address this as if you're talking to the people that's looking to go into business right now. What is the best way to keep a client? Well, the best way to keep a client is to, first of all, you got to keep your word on whatever you promise. You really should be great at customer service and serving them or what have you. And as long as you're usually providing someone with what they expect, you're fine. You know, but you can't get offended when they say they want to do business with someone else. Yeah. If you're doing really great, you should. One of the best things you can do is say, okay, go try them. I'll be here when you get back, when you find out what the deal is. Exactly. You know, like I say, a lot of people use that one night stand approach. Usually it's because you're exchanging a good or something like that. But when you're in the service industry, it's usually a lot of times more important to maintain a relationship, to encourage a person to repeatedly do business with you. Like great lawyers usually are able to make it
because they have so many people on retainer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people trust them so much that they're willing to even pay for months that they don't use.
Yeah.
Because they know that when I pick up that phone, boom, you're there.
Mm-hmm.
In that time of need.
There's this company out there. It's been out there for a long time. Some people say it's multi-level marketing, whatever they want to call it, but it's that prepaid legal. That's huge, man.
Right.
That's huge.
And I usually always encourage people to do it. I've encouraged people to do it. I have a business myself with prepaid legal.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, and a lot of people who don't have it don't, a lot of people do not want to invest in themselves. And that is the problem. If you are running a business, at some point or later, you're going to need some legal advice, probably.
Exactly.
And so, a lot of people, even in the activist world, this is the worst part of that whole thing is legal representation.
Yep. Exactly.
And we tried to mitigate that issue. There were some attorneys that we volunteered to be our consult. That was their contribution, to be there whenever we needed help from a legal standpoint in regards to question and answer. And so these types of relationships that you develop with people make a difference, because we're not looking for one night stands.
Yeah.
I would set up whole referral list and just let the person know, hey, this is the organization. This is what we can help you with. We do this at no cost to you or whatever. We market your services to people in need that come through our door. Only thing that we ask is that you be fair. And that you be ethical. So that's a referral service that we set up to provide to attorneys for free.
Let me go to Anna. Anna, what's on your heart?
Leonard, wow, you said a mouthful then. I mean, so many points you hit. I love sitting down and talking to Leonard because it's true. It just many of the things. One of them, and I live by this, you have to have loyalty and integrity. You just do. I don't care what you do. I don't care if we're friends. I don't care what you do. That has to be there. And I believe that should be the core of business and everything else. Because if you don't have that, you know what I'm saying? You have nothing. You have nothing. And so that goes very far. I've heard of that legal stuff you guys are talking about. I thought it was like one of those scam type things,
No,
but I'll look into it. I will look into it because, especially because I have the two things going on, which I do have a legal team who is actually on staff with me, but I don't think I would need it for that. I think I might need it for the other thing because I don't mix one with the other. But it's pretty, to me, it's pretty interesting how my internet keeps going, you guys. I'm sorry, so I keep freezing and I keep coming and going. But it's pretty interesting how in different ways we can all go back to the same thing. And I mean, Leonard hit it right on the nose with a lot of what I believe as to be core as a human being. And first and most importantly is, as a Christian, you have to, just have certain things about you that you follow daily and bring that with you wherever you go. I'm not sure if Leonard agrees with me or you do, Raheen, but it's just something that should just be brought with you. It shouldn't be, I bring this, but then I got to do this, and it all changes around. I mean, I was telling you guys this morning, I woke up earlier and I was praying for a while. It's just, things we should do. I hope that you guys, if you guys ever do wake up early, if you guys have free time, pray for me. Sometimes I need it more than you guys. So pray for me too, But with that being said, you said a lot, Leonard, and it's good to see that there's people with that mind frame and with that mindset, because I think integrity, loyalty, and I don't know if it's partly my culture, that's very important with all that you do. So that's about it.
Good deal. Good deal. Kurt, you there?
Yes, sir.
Is my nephew there?
Well, he's getting seen by the doctor right now because we're doing his physical.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see what he thought about the conversation that we're having right now, Kurt. But is it possible, Kurt, for a person to talk themselves into a business deal, and then in the same course of time talk themselves out of it because they talk too much?
Oh, absolutely. I done it.
Wow. How they say, do tell, brother, do tell.
No, I just done it. You know what I mean? Like, you sat down and you're so enthused about what you're doing. You know what I mean? That you start negotiating from a position of strength.
Mm-hmm.
You be negotiating from a position of need. Like, you really need somebody to back you on this or whatever. And then you wind up giving up too much information, and they wind up walking away from the table.
Mm-hmm.
So they was going to roll with the deal, but you didn't give them so much information, they walk away from the table, and they take your idea and run with it. I done literally did that. You know what I mean? So that's why it's always good that when you go into negotiations in any business, it's always good to have a partner with you. It's always good to have somebody you trust that can tap you on the knee and let you know, like, okay, pull back, or hey, that don't sound right. A prime example is, I won't throw it out there, but when we had that meeting in Atlanta that time.
Yes.
Sometimes you gotta humble yourself and know, like, hey, I might be in over my head. So I gotta take somebody. I gotta take somebody with me. And I called you, like, hey, Ryan, look, I got a meeting down here, such and such. I need you to get down here.
Yeah.
And you like, what you mean? I said, look, man, this what's going on.
I
said, I need you here because these people might say some things that's going to be over my head.
Exactly. That's good.
Let me talk to the doctor. I'll finish the story in a minute. The doctor needs to talk to me, though.
All right, good deal. Okay.
But I'm not going nowhere.
My man.
I wanted to address something. Remember, Raheem, that Kurt said earlier.
Okay, go ahead. Absolutely.
Well, it was about school and the decisions that people are having to make. And I think I put on my personal post as well to take into consideration what your school district is doing at this time, because this is where your leverage is at. If you have people making decisions to send your kids back to school, you may want to find out who's on your school board, find out who's pushing what and why. The school is supposed to really operate in the best interest of the child, even to the point, the whole theory when you send your child to school is you should be able to expect that they will take as good care of your child as you would. And it's called in loco parentis or whatever. And now I see where the schools are mitigating, giving you various options. Also, remember, I think we spoke about it before. They're going to get you, they want you to sign a waiver. And then now they turn around and want to change the vaccination schedule and what's included in vaccination. So one, you have to find out what the agenda. Personally, my child may not return to public school, period.
Wow.
So I have to be about setting up that entire education system for him to make sure that I can substantiate that choice that I made. And a lot of people don't have that, I guess, what would you say? I'm not going to even say intelligence, luxury.
Yeah.
But one, how did you plan? Did you ever think or talk about virtual school? Because think about it, a lot of parents who have kids with behavior problems have been doing semi-virtual. Alternative schools are usually set up in a virtual format, except for the fact that you have to house the children, but they're still getting a lot of their education from the computer. Because basically you're just supervising them for discipline issues or helping them out when they don't know which button to press. So this growing change in education is going to be really big for a lot of parents, especially how it affects those kids who are involved in sports. As a matter of fact, I was concerned because, I stay right behind a high school. And I hear the band practicing or what have you and things like that. And I was like, hopefully,
are they any good?
Yeah, I love the band. I mean, I was in band all my life. But these are things you have to take into consideration.
And that's why I asked you, because I know you got a background in band, you got a background in music. So
yeah, I love it.
I could ask you the question. I said, man, look here, are they any good? Because
I love to hear them struggling. I love to hear them starting to learn new music, everything. So
what did you think about I'm changing the subject here, man. We'll get back and forth. But what did you think of that movie Drumline?
No, it's a great movie.
Did it tell the true story?
It was a bit sensational. But I remember we had the same type of relationship with the band across town because they played a different type of music. The school I went to, I participated in several bands. So you had of course, the marching band, which is really competitive with other schools. And I went to a school on the other side of town. And so the school on the east side where I'm from, they were about the upbeat music and blah, 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 right? And the dance music. Where the band in my school was about learning the music, providing a beautiful sound, structure, and things of that nature. You had a school fight song, and then you had traditional music. Whereas on the black side of town, for lack of a better word, they had my main man, Dr. Howe, who was the instructor, who was one of the baddest in the land. He wrote specific music for that neighborhood.
Yeah. Do some of that. Do some of that.
But then you think about it, how does that work in drum and bugle corps competition? So Battle of the Bands ain't no joke.
Yeah.
It's okay to entertain the crowd, but Battle of the Bands is a little different.
Exactly. Watch this. I'm going to go to Xavier, and I'm coming to you next. But Xavier, let me ask you a question though. Whatever happened to the Steppers, man? Remember the step team and all that stuff? Whatever happened to them?
You asked me what happened to the Steppers?
Yeah, you remember the Steppers? Yeah, you know about the Steppers, don't you?
I don't know what they're doing now.
They used to be good, though.
Watch this. America has changed a little bit, and so the old step teams are now the dance teams. So somebody will catch the drift in a minute, but yeah, they not stepping no more. They twerking and dancing now.
Oh Lord, see, I don't know which turn you're making there, brother. I don't know what turn you're making there.
I'm just saying, yeah, the stuff that we used to see, it's different. I don't know if that was a generational thing that we had, but now, bro, it is college campuses or high school. The stuff you see now, it's when I say they dancing now, and that's what they doing now. Yeah, they not stepping, they not doing any of that now. So I don't know if it's just a sign of the times or what, but yeah, it's different. Now you mess around and see some of these old fraternities and sororities get together. And I mean, you
might see something.
The average age of the person you'll get in there. And, you about a 40 plus year old dude in there stepping back, break an ankle and crack a knee or something. I mean, you'll see that.
Yes, sir.
I mean, they can't do it long. Yeah, they can't do it long. And so, yeah, I don't know where it's been.
He said he can't do it long. But watch this.
No, they do it long.
Anna, and we're gonna change up a second. Anna, do you remember the old? And I don't know if you did this or not, because you were down in Florida, right? They might not have did it in Florida. You was raised in Florida, right?
Well, I was the Dodds schools. I was Army brat, so I've been raised all over.
Okay, so do you remember the old double dutch?
Oh, with the ropes?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. They did that everywhere.
Man, they used to do it, turning flips and cartwheels and all kind of stuff. All this stuff went to.
They did that everywhere.
Yeah, double dutch. Did you use to double dutch?
I did used to double dutch. I don't know if I could still double dutch, but the main place where I did it, believe it or not, in Germany, that was like the main thing back. Oh gosh. I don't even think I was born yet, like 86.
Don't you get out there trying to double dutch now, you know.
I think I'll stay stuck trying to
don't try to do a single dutch. You might do a single dutch. Don't try to do a double dutch.
and you know, you were really good at it. That what was the one game too that we did when it had the dodgeball and then it had like the string and then
teleball, what is it called? I think it's called teleball. Yeah, on that pole.
Yes, talk about the old school. Get on the monkey bars, and I don't know what happened now. These kids don't want to do nothing.
I know who I can ask that, because you know to find out some old school, you got to go to an old head. Bishop, you there?
Bishop.
Right, who you calling old, bro? You calling me old?
I'm just saying, man. You know, sometimes when you want to go to your resources, you got to go to your resources, and you know, I can't go to the young folk, man. What the thing called? Watch this. What it called? Teleball, and what it's called? Teleball.
You know what, Raheem? I can't answer that one, man. I'm gonna tell you. I ain't never heard of that game.
Oh, you heard of? You heard of? I bet. Look, I bet you heard of Duck Goose, though, didn't you? You heard of Duck Goose, ain't it?
Yeah.
Well, I know about Duck Goose, Teleball. I don't know no Teleball.
Well, let me go to the other old head. Let me go to the other old head on here. Yeah, Xavier, what do you say?
Go to Tucson.
Oh Lord, you calling Tucson old? Tucson. Tucson.
Dodgeball.
Let me tell y'all right now. Now this gonna put you out there, but all I had is my flashlight in the car. So I didn't care what you do.
See, yeah, y'all to get that later.
So how about that? And then wait a minute. Bishop, watch this. And I wasn't sharing what I had.
There you go. Puff pass. Leonard, I don't know where your brother's going right now, Leonard. You need to pull him back in, brother. Pull him back in. I don't know where they go.
I stepped away for a minute. What was y'all talking about?
You remember that it was a game. It was a pole, and it had the string and the ball. It was called tetherball, right? We had to try to swing it around and get it to wrap around the pole. It was called tetherball, right?
Tetherball.
Yeah. See, that's
okay.
That's if you want to know, go to an old head every time. Old head, see them old heads know what it is. See, them old heads, he had the proper pronunciation of it and everything. Now, Anna, what you remember, Anna, what you used to do all the time was and maybe some of these fellas on here did it too. I don't know. You know, they're hopscotch.
Hopscotch and Foursquare.
Yeah.
You guys remember Foursquare?
I don't remember no Foursquare now. You know,
you have the ball, and then you throw it to each square. See, Leonard remembers.
But then I was a street kid, so
use your brain.
We played curveball, all type of stuff. Hopscotch. We did all because we were street kids. I mean, that's what you did when you was a kid.
and I wanted to take this change in the conversation just for a few minutes, just to prove the point. Man, it was so much different when we was coming up, man. We they used to have to fight. Now you got to fight the kids to go outside. Back then, you used to have to fight us coming inside, man. Call us 3 or 4 times to come and eat because we outside. We enjoying each other. We outside. We doing things, man. I said this on a broadcast a couple of weeks ago. Christmas time, when Christmas used to come, man, everybody would be outside, man, on their bikes, playing the games. You couldn't find nobody inside, man. Last few years, Christmas, you go, man, it's like a ghost town, man. It's like a ghost town. There's nothing going on. Bishop, what do you say to that? Ain't nobody outside. Ain't nobody doing nothing. What do you say to that, Bishop?
Well, I have to agree with you, man. We anticipated that and looking for the toys. And, man, we outside all day. And going in the house, man, nothing in the house to do.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I want to be outside, and that's why I was so slim and fit, because I was always outside playing football, basketball, or something, running down the street.
Who was slim? Who was slim? Who? Now you were doing good till you put that. Who?
I was slim and trim. Heck, man, what you talking about? Man, please.
Bishop.
I could have been a little, what's his name? Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's how I was.
See. I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Then we're gonna move on. I'm gonna go to somebody else, but I'm gonna say it like this: lie don't care who tell it, as long as you get told. Lie don't care who tell it, as long as you get told. I'm just gonna. I ain't gonna call nobody nothing. I ain't gonna call nobody nothing.
You gonna make me gonna have my wife? Raheem, behave. I'm gonna put you in timeout.
Look at him. I'm gonna tell you.
Let's put him in timeout.
Look at him. My thing is this right here. Don't you bring that woman in here trying to get her to tell some tales for you.
He hating, Bishop. He hating.
I know he is.
Yeah.
Please.
Donald, I need you, Donald, to step back up, man, because this man called you old and you ain't said nothing yet. Defend yourself.
What you on instant later?
What?
I ain't saying nothing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
I ain't saying nothing.
Okay.
Hey, look, I know one thing. I wasn't gonna break dance.
I wouldn't.
It's Leonard. That's Leonard. That's Leonard. Pop locking and everything.
My clothes there.
Look at that's Leonard used to spin on his head and everything. All that stuff, man. Tell the truth, Shandy Devil, Leonard.
I used to have a good time.
Yeah. In the name of having a good time, he used to spin on his head.
I used to love. My thing was I used to love. I was a big outdoors kid anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to love nightclubs and everything like that. I still like them. I just don't go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you get older.
Yeah.
You know, I don't go as, you know, my knees don't work like that no more.
Mm-hmm.
But
look here, look at 10:30 to my man. What time they play close, man? I'm ready to go. It's 10 o'clock. Ain't nobody got to, you know, people don't usually get to the club about 11:30, something like that. 12 o'clock they get to the club. It's 10 o'clock. You in there talking about, man, what time they play close, man? When you get old, you go down that road. But of course, Xavier never went to a club. Though. He wasn't a club kind of fella.
Oh, well, it just depends. I used to love to do a lot of stuff.
Now, let me say this now. Hold on, Haynes. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Lord had to save me from something now. I'm just saying now. The Lord had to save me from something. But you know what I did mostly growing up? I was in salsa clubs.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like our clubs.
Okay.
Like, dude, but if you send me to a salsa club, though, and I tear up something, if not break my own ankle.
Man, look here. You weren't trying to break it down, were you, brother?
Too, so I DJ too. So I would DJ in our environment, but I didn't want to dance. I didn't want to do none of that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to do none of that.
Okay.
And I ended up stopping DJing because I didn't like the change of music. I didn't like what they were talking about in the music, so I stopped with that. And started, doing specialized DJing events, gospel rap, gospel hip hop, stuff like that. So anyway.
And since this is Black Business Friday, it's like what Xavier was just saying. I have a cousin, right?
Mm-hmm.
He lives in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Salt Lake.
Now, Donald, he's from Thibodeau, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But he was, things happen. He was born and raised in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Mm-hmm.
This boy is a very well-known salsa DJ.
Huh?
When I tell you he loves
I love it.
that and has dedicated his life to this entire culture. Now, he black.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter.
And I used to always tell him, how do you stay out of trouble?
Yeah.
But man, oh my goodness, he would take pictures. Like, he worked at Delta.
Mm-hmm.
And he would fly to do all these things, and people knew who he was, and he's been doing it for so many years. Beautiful women all over. You don't know about it, Raheem, because you from the country.
I'm from the country. I'm a country boy. I'm a country boy.
And see, you so far removed from even the African dance and what it was before. But this is what salsa is. See, that's why you don't know. See, and salsa is huge.
I don't know why
and so he has a following, and we joke about it. He Thibodaux, Louisiana. And he's a successful salsa DJ out in Salt Lake City, Utah. He immersed himself in the culture. He teaches dance, and he loves it. And that just shows you that, like, whatever you really want to do, it can be productive if you want to make it a business.
Yeah.
So he don't just love the music. He dances. He knows the culture. He speaks fluent Spanish. All this. And I was like, man, I know your wife stare you down every weekend because I see him take pictures with, and you know how the Latinas do it. Boy, them heels and them boy. And so this is what he does. That's why you so happy all the time.
I love it.
How can you not be happy and have that as a passion and do it for a living?
And see, and you actually just went, because I wanted to change it up a little bit, and then I want to come back. How can you, Leonard? How can you and hold on before I do that, because Curtis wanted to say something. Curtis, you say you love what'd you say?
I love salsa and merengue.
Oh,
yes.
I love, and I'm a hip hop head. I'm a music head. I come from a musical family. My family was the Winans of Baltimore. I come from an old doo-wop, a male doo-wop family, female solo artist, backup singer type of family.
Yeah.
But I love salsa and merengue. And I remember being in a club one night, and I was the only black dude in the club. And me and the world, we had went to one of her favorite spots or whatever. And there's a particular song that I really love, which is by Mark Anthony. It's called La La.
Vivir la vida.
And so the song came on, and we got
all his songs
on
are
the
beautiful.
dance floor. And of course, because I'm a Baltimorean, dancing salsa is not hard for me, because you got to remember, I'm a house dancer. So salsa in the house still has kind of the same melodic movements and melodic tones and drums, and everything is connected back to Africa.
You get pregnant too with salsa dance. You get pregnant.
Yeah, so we got on the dance floor, and I'll never forget it. One of the Puerto Rican brothers, he walked up to me. He was like, "Hey man, how you dance like that, man? Like you're not Hispanic." And I said, I'm from Baltimore. And he said, "Well, what does that mean?" I said, we house lovers. We love house music in the city. And he said, "Well, why you like our music?" And I said, when he asked me, it kind of threw me.
Yeah.
But the only thing. Okay. All right, don't worry about it. And I said to him, truth be told, man, I like it because it makes me feel good. See, the one thing about salsa and merengue is, even down to the love ballads, there's a level of life still there. Unlike our music nowadays, it has this undertone of death, chaos, and mayhem. And I don't want to hear that. I'm 48 years old. You know what I mean? I want to hear something that celebrates life and that breathes life into me. Music is
Go ahead, Kurt.
Music.
Who put out my song? That's my song.
So language. And music has a capability of transcending any kind of culture, society. You know, it's crazy. You can go to Africa, and you can go into one of the most remote places in Africa, and there's nothing to hear a kid singing Tupac lyrics, or singing Biggie lyrics, or singing Jay-Z lyrics, or singing a Beyonce song, or singing a Jennifer Holiday song. That it is nothing. And what I have noticed, I don't know how many people have picked this up, but if you pay very close attention to the dances that you're seeing now in these performances, they're nothing but African dances. They're
Good deal.
African dances.
Good deal. Wrap it up for me, Kurt.
All right, they're African dances that the choreographer has either taken a beat out or added an extra beat in. So it's like they added a tick. So it's easier to catch on to. But if you really watch the Africans dance, it's fluid. There's no tick. It is just continuous body movement. So I love salsa and merengue. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, it's going to be played at my wedding.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Anna for a second and ask a question. Because for the people like myself that is not clear, what is the difference between salsa and what did you say, merengue? Merengue? Merengue, yeah. What is the difference?
Leonard, why are you laughing over there? You need to teach people, not laugh at them. So salsa is more, to put it this way, salsa is more, it's got more of the African roots in it, right? So salsa music gives you more of that African, dance to it. And of course, Puerto Ricans and Cubans, Colombians as well, have added their own twist to it. Some of the best salsa dancers I have seen have actually been Colombian and not Puerto Rican, although it is a dance that we take in. So it's a combination of dances. Then merengue is more of a, it's Dominican. So it's more of I'm trying to use the clean version. It's more of a
like a seductive
type.
It's more sensual.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
more sensual, more dirty dancing type dance. But you have some people that are professional dancers and can dance it separated and can dance it very well. As we were talking on the chat.
Is that the one where they say? Is that the one where they say to do hey?
No.
And then they got one that says, "Mami, el negro está rabioso, quiere pelear conmigo."
That's the one to do that right there. Because sometimes they be dancing and it like they emphasize by saying,
Y'all gonna make me want to dance and clean the house once I get off air. But then you also have bachata. Bachata is a mixture of African dances, of course, as well as it being even more sensual than the merengue, and it's more modern. You'll have groups like Aventura, which is Romeo Santos, who they're from New York, and they're actually amazing, the best probably that you'll ever see. And, you have other combinations. Mexicans have their Tejano dance or whatever from different parts of whatever part of Central, South, or Caribbean you are. But I enjoy a good night out, and you guys should do it sometime just to test it out at the Latin night at the club, because you don't really see drama. It's just really, there's no shooting. Not that I've ever seen when I was younger, but just to go see people dance. Because Leonard's right, you usually have the show-offs, which are the professional dancers. They'll just go there to do a Patrick Swayze on the floor. You're like, wait a minute, I'm Latino and I don't even dance like that. And I shouldn't say Latino because that's not really a word, but I'm Taína and I don't even dance like that, So it's just interesting to watch. If you guys can, and Xavier, you're right, take some Spanish dance lessons. It is happy. It is refreshing. It'll take that stress off your shoulders. or clean your house to it. I promise you guys will be like, man, I want to finish the whole house. So that's why you always see memes about Latinas playing Spanish music and going ahead and cleaning the whole house. And that's how the kids know it's time to clean the house because the music will go on. So just that was refreshing to hear. That was refreshing to hear something about my culture. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Now watch this here. Bishop, are you gonna go out there and learn how to do it, man? You gonna go out there and learn some salsa this weekend? What you gonna do? Bishop? Bishop.
Take your wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Please take your wife. Please take your wife.
Hold on one sec, Kurt.
I got a bad leg.
You got a bad leg?
So I can't do it like that.
Lord my Jesus. Well, I tell you what, we got a substitute. Xavier, you gonna go? You going in his stead, brother?
Oh, let me tell you, man, I go every week. Yeah, I go every week here in Atlanta. Yeah, well, I don't know what y'all talking about. Yeah, I'm every week. Atlanta salsa. It's on Miami Avenue, right here in Atlanta, man. And that's where I spend. We go in person, and I do some suela, and then we jump into salsa rueda, and we do that for man. I go in there for 3 hours, 4 hours, man, and we get it. I mean, we get down, we get that. Big
How long you been divorced, Pastor?
But I'm moving forward. Say it again.
How long you been divorced?
This year will be a decade.
10 years. Oh no. See, that's one thing. I don't dance a lot like anymore because I used to love dance because of the connection. And let me tell you, when I got married, I could not dance like that anymore.
But watch this. There is nothing that will revive a marriage like two people doing salsa. The reason why I started salsa because I didn't have to mimic what I did. I didn't have to mimic what I did in the bedroom to dance with my partner. So salsa is so sensual. If a husband and wife having a difficult time, kind of reconnecting, go take a salsa class.
Amen.
In the living room. And just hit it. Let me tell you something. You gonna tell them kids don't talk. Come in the room.
Wait a minute.
Hit.
Hold on, Xavier. When you say hit it, what you talking about? When you talking about hit it, what you talking about? Hold on. When you say hit it, what you talking about? Well, hold on, Xavier. Hold on, Xavier. When you say hit it, what you talking about? What you talking about? Hold on now.
Oven and wine.
Oh, okay.
I used to tell people I compare it to handling a snake.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
This I mean, and I'm gonna pick on the Latina females. They'll get you, bro. They'll get you.
Kurt, hold on. Hold on. We're gonna stop letting him. Hold on. Where my mute button? Hold on. You muted, Leonard. You muted, brother. You muted. Kurt, go ahead, Kurt. What's on your heart?
Hey, you know what? For all of the guys that have some physical issues, one of the best dances to actually do if you want to rekindle some things with your wife and it's fun and it's very, very seductive. Beyond salsa is the tango. Take a class on how to tango. It is one of the most seductive dances. I had to take it in college when I went to the University of Arts in Philadelphia. And we had a whole entire evening where we had a show where there was different aspects of the tango choreographed to the point that I forget what they call it in choreography. Then everybody came on board with the same choreography. But let me tell you, the tango is so seductive that you're going to love it. After you finish, if y'all still mad at each other, still angry, y'all need to go. Don't get the balls.
Let me go to Rico. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I think that to me, salsa is a great recreation, man. I mean, it's almost like an athletic event between two people. You can get in a lot of shape doing that salsa, but I remember.
What kind of shape you talking about?
You get in good shape, just dancing, just good shape, period. But it used to be a military base down here called Fort McClellan. and it was an MP school and chemical training school, and they had a Latin night once a month. And so I had a Puerto Rican friend and his girlfriend, their family. Well, his girlfriend's family, they used to invite me to a lot of the functions, and so they started inviting me to those dances. And man, when I tell you, it was like walking into a whole nother world, but I loved it. I seen some of the most beautiful women, but the energy and the atmosphere was so fun. Cause going to our clubs, what I was used to is when they got to turning on a little bit of Lil Jon, you better start ducking. So you really couldn't enjoy yourself. You couldn't dance. I remember I made a song one time complaining about the fact that we couldn't come to the club to hook up with women because you were going to end up fighting and dodging bullets. But went to those Latin dances, I was hooked after the first time. So, you know, they would keep on bringing me to them. And one time they had this one big one, man, where it wasn't just Puerto Ricans. It was Venezuelans, Guatemalans, you name it. They had the flags all across the, I think they called it the
NCO club.
NCO club. It was in the NCO club, man. They had the flags lined up all around the wall, man. And I saw all these beautiful shades. This was my first time seeing a Latino person. She said that was disrespectful. But, you know, we're Hispanic. Saw a person of that descent darker than me. And I walked up to that woman thinking she was a guest just like me, but she didn't speak a lick of English. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, it threw me for a loop. But man, when I tell you that was the most fun I had, they was like, everybody was just walking up to me, asking me to dance. And like when you go to our clubs, you could easily get in the corner and just sit back and like a knot on the log. You get a little too cool to dance. You ain't fixing to do that there. You gonna get up and dance when you go to one of those parties. And so it was like that exposure to that atmosphere, man. Oh man, it made me dig more into it. I started doing it more and more often. When I went to New York, I did the same thing. I went to search for some of the Latin clubs just to get a different vibe. And then I remember in Atlanta, I think it was off Peachtree, they had a club that was called Club Kaya.
Oh,
they
yeah.
So many times.
Oh, yeah.
Well, across the street, they had Club Riviera. Across the street, it was a Latino club. Man, I was up in Atlanta one weekend for the birthday bash. And we was at Club Kaya. And I was in that line, man. Them sisters got me walking in that Club Kaya, man. I was like, boy, it's just gonna be a ball. But I looked across the street at Club Riviera, and all I saw was J-Lo's and Carmen Electra. And I thought I was in Miami Vice. Boy, I don't know nothing about birthday bash. I think I'm gonna be done one from the rest of the night. But that atmosphere, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. It's just the energy is so positive and it's so electric that you leave out of there. You can't think of anything negative. You actually look forward to it. Cause I just kept replaying it in my mind, just different thoughts, different scenes throughout the night where I was just like, man, I enjoyed myself. And it was a new experience too. So, I mean, and I guess that's a light lesson for everybody, really and truly. Go out and try new things. Like Kurt said, go and try some tango dancing. It don't hurt to experiment and try something different as long as it's not in the risk of cause of danger in it, you know?
Exactly. Is that baby?
Raheem,
baby.
Hey, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Raheem.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Now, I was listening to, that's Rico, right?
Yes, sir.
That was Rico. And he said, you go listen to some salsa music, and you feel the spirit. But when you listen to Lil Jon, you better go to Ducky. Is that what he said?
That's exactly what he said.
So here's my impression of Lil Jon. Yeah.
Lil Jon is too short. Throw your hood up.
Where in the world have we gone? Bishop on here. Bishop in here quoting Lil Jon, and what in the world is going on?
Yeah. Bishop, I'm surprised at you.
I'm shocked.
Talking about Little John.
I'm so
baby. Raheem.
Yes, sir.
My son, my oldest boy. Now I don't mind saying it. You know it. It's your nephew. You know he a little thugged out, right?
Yeah.
He's a little thugged out. I give him that. He's a little thugged out. I admit that to no fault, right? Let me tell you how powerful this salsa and merengue thing is. He's very much like Leonard. My oldest boy played the tuba in the band. So both of my kids are very, very musically inclined, right? So the first time my oldest boy heard that song "La La" by Mark Anthony, I was on my way to take him to the airport because he had flew up here and he was flying back to South Carolina. So I had some salsa music on. He was like, "Hey, come on, man." And I was like, "No, I need you. Listen to this song right here. This is my favorite song. This what happened. La La's coming on, right?" So he listening, and he say, "You know how South Carolinians do? Ooh,
yeah.
Hey, Dad." I say, "What's up?" He say, "Man, them horns is just so tight." That's when I really knew, like, okay, this kid is a musician. Like, he's a real musician, because it went from this is outside of my culture to let me hear the musicianship in this before I say can't do it. Let me hear and recognize if it's real musicianship. The rest of the way, all the way to the airport, he just kept talking about, "Oh, Daddy, they were so crisp. Good gracious alive. They don't miss one note." And I was like, that's why I love it. And then he said to me, "It just made my body, my spirit feel alive again." And I was like, "Son, you get it. Now you get it."
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what music is supposed to make you feel. It's supposed to make you feel alive, not dead. You know what I'm saying? So, man, like the bros say, if for the listeners, take the opportunity and go and spend some time. You ain't gotta go for the alcohol, for the booth. Take a class and just listen to the musicianship. It's the one music we're taught in music that I want to make sure I get this right. Leonard, help me out here. Bottoms. Okay, hold on. Okay, treble. Highs make you move the top part of your body. Lows make you move the bottom part of your body. It's the one music that exists that accentuates both the highs and the lows. So your body will move in one. It'll move like in one. It'll move in one concert. Like it'll move together in one stream, because your mind is hearing both things that stimulate both parts of your body, your upper and your lower. You know what I mean? But I highly recommend anybody, if you ever really want to, especially if you're having some marital issues, or just some issues where y'all not coming together as one, because it's the one music, it's the one dance where it's almost impossible for you to do it by yourself.
So
you have to do it together. It has to be a team thing. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
So should I? I'm hearing something in the background. I'm hearing some music or something playing in the background. What's that I'm hearing? Everybody mute your line so we don't have the music. We got some music playing in the background there. Don't know what that is. Good deal. Should I have so Xavier, should I have a Bishop moment and not quote who he quoted, but quote Lil Jon and say, yeah?
That's all I'm saying.
Well, and also, things have changed so much when it comes to what Rico was talking about. And one thing that I used to love to do, and the older people would watch us at family reunions and everything. You know how the older people watch the younger people.
Yeah.
And man, let me tell you, I was the guy, when Luke came out.
Oh Lord.
See, before, if you couldn't slow dance, you was a corny cat.
Yeah.
So I slow danced all the time. And then also you get to put your hands on a girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then we got into the Luke thing. And it was raw. We was, the girls been right over, pop it, you do it all this, that, and the other, and whatever. And that's how we got all them pregnancies.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
And all these 80s babies and all that. But crack baby. What?
Look, hold on. Praise the Lord.
But what I love about that dance and why I miss it is because there were certain dances that I only danced with one person. because I trusted that person.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's what it is. It's a mating dance. Don't get it twisted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know no man that's gonna that's not gonna enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
So once you learn it, you know, because it's kind of when you first learning it, you know, some people go to class to learn it. Some people just learn it in the clubs, and dancing comes naturally. But you have to be conscious going into this dance. And that's because the eye contact, like Kurt said, you always got your hand a lot of times in the small of a woman's back. But you have to have, if you lead her, she knows where to go. And then sometimes you let her lead, but it's made to complement masculine and feminine. Where what I did not like about when I first came down here in the South, it was fun at the clubs, but it was just so mean and aggressive. You know, our music became so mean and aggressive at a point where you couldn't enjoy it. And so, like Kurt said, when his son heard that music, when you get back into that atmosphere where it's just about the dance and having a good time, it's so much more enjoyable. And Latin nights are always packed out at clubs. I've partied like with Kurt up in Baltimore. You know, the Go-Go in DC, man, the Ibex was the spot. You had a brother mention Club Kaya, packed all the time. So I used to love nightclubbing.
Good deal.
And now I dropped a little post. I'm addicted to a combination of these dances. And this is why some people are so much popular, like Beyonce.
Good deal. Let me
holler
do this.
at her new video that's gonna come out this weekend. Black is King. It's gonna be the most awesome thing you probably ever seen. But she uses she goes to Africa and all these places and learns these dances.
All right, I'm great. I'm great to utilize my mute button on you, Len. I'm great to utilize my mute button on you, brother. I'm great to utilize my mute button. But listen, we got about 12 minutes. Somebody's who's calling me at this time of the day. Lord, my Jesus. Somebody don't know me, do they? Okay. But listen, we talked about a lot, and I wanted to really change it up a little bit. We talked a lot. I think we covered the business aspect, and now where we are right now, I think it's good to let people know that we are still human, and we like to have a good time. We like to have a good time now. Oh, we're gonna go to the club this weekend and dance? Probably not. But my thing is this right here. You know, we all have a past. We all have things that we enjoyed of our past. Does that make us bad people? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But we real with it. That's just what it is. Donald, what's on your heart?
I didn't know earlier. I didn't know that my phone was not on mute, and you was like, I don't know what that is. I was listening to Zydeco music. And a lot of people don't know what that is. But if you go to a Zydeco dance, you talking about turning up. And just to see them move around in such a fashion, they swing out and they flip and turn each other and just have a ball. But there's so many different cultures that just the like Leonard said, it's kind of like a romance.
Anna wanted to know, Donald, is that Creole?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Big time. Just look up Zydeco and just watch him move.
Man, you know I can't spell that, man.
Ball.
You know I can't spell that, Donald. Why you putting me on the spot like that? Tell me to look up something you know I can't spell, man.
And where you from? Oh, you said you're from the country.
Yeah, I'm from the country. I'm from North Carolina, brother. I'm a country boy.
It's spelled ZYDECO.
Let me see. ZYDEC. Okay.
D-Y-D-E-Z as in Z.
Yeah, I got you.
Y.
Mm-hmm.
D-E-C-O.
Okay.
Zydeco.
Okay. Okay. Now
And
make sure you spell that right. You kind of hesitated, brother.
Washboard.
You sure you spell that right? You sure you spell it right? You kind of hesitated now.
No, well, I'm looking at it. I'm gonna look something up before I start to spell it. That's why I got Google.
There you go. I don't need no Google. My wife know everything.
Well, there you go. That's why she'll help me.
There you go. I don't need no doggone.
Because you can't spell.
Look, I don't need to. My wife do. My wife know how to do that. Let me see what we got here. Hold on. Let me see what we got here. Oh, hold on. That's hold on. Let's get past this part and go here. Let's go right here. See what we got. Hey, you know what that remind me of? And y'all gonna think I done lost my mind. And it sounds good, but it remind me of and I love this movie, Princess and the Frog. Yeah, Princess
and the Frog is based in Louisiana. That's what that is. That's that.
Because I was like, man, I was listening to them, looking at the movie, man. I started doing something like this. I said, hey, wait a minute, hold on, this kid movie.
I don't know what you were doing.
My oldest baby looks like Princess from that movie when she was young.
Mm-hmm. It's a play on jazz and bluegrass. It's a mixture of jazz and bluegrass. The movie "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?"
I got the soundtrack.
Is based off of that style of music, but it all runs through. It all runs off of a certain element of jazz. It's one of the greatest musics actually created. I spent 9.5 months in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and Brother Donald is dead on. You see them people party.
Oh yeah,
and have a good time. Oh, they really do. They really do it because they make music off of anything. Like they don't have to have the greatest drum set. The drum set could be a pot in a tree.
They get 2 spoons.
Yeah, the spoons is anything that you can make any kind of noise with becomes an instrument. Man, you gotta be brilliant. You gotta not only be brilliant, but you gotta have a brilliant. In music, we call it having a brilliant ear. You gotta have a brilliant ear to hear not only the sound, but the different sounds that items make, along with the tones that they make, so that you know how to work. Man, y'all done went somewhere today. Ooh,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And just what Kurt was mentioning, like where my man Tucson is. Do y'all remember the ham bone?
Come on.
There you go, Rico doing
ham bone. Have you heard?
So one.
I'm gonna buy me a bucking bird.
And that would be a beat to the music.
Mm-hmm.
You know how we, if you was ever in a lunchroom and you beating on the table or whatever. I learned how to do the ham bone when I was a little bitty boy. My cousin used to do it, and he could make all these sounds using his body. And having the background in the South, when we go to those, man, Zydeco is great. Everybody does everything on the floor with the Zydeco music, and then you know it's a great time. You got your families coming together, or if somebody hear the music, they know that it's a party somewhere and people go that way. You know, so it's a combination of a lot of African, French, and Spanish. It's like what I call it's the blues music of a specific place that you can't get anywhere else really in the United States, but down in the boot. You know, and Magnolia and things of that nature. That what's the person? Big Frida, for instance. Big Frida is very popular because Big Frida is trying to save the music from New Orleans area called bounce music. Bounce music has that background and that Zydeco music and things like that, and it came up, and now it's bounce. And Big Frida's whole thing is, you know, she's just he's a drag person, right? So, you know, as a celebrity, they got the TV show, but it's the culture of bounce that I like. When you hear him talk about why he does what he does, it's to preserve the culture of that particular music where he's from, because it is nowhere else that way in the United States. Like, say, for instance, you learn go-go and things of that nature. Salsa is definitely great because, like Xavier was saying, or Kurt was saying, if you lack intimacy, couples are going to learn the dance.
Yeah, exactly. Let me go to Bishop. Hold on. Let me go to Bishop. Bishop, what's on your heart right now? Bishop done fell over. The music done. He done danced a little too much. The DJ saved my life with a slow.
Please.
The DJ has saved my life.
You the truth. Thank you for saving my life. No, we good, man. Everything is good. I'm enjoying it.
Man, I don't know what kind of phone.
Man.
I don't know what kind of phone you got there, brother. It is your phone doing something fancy, brother. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Yeah, your phone doing something real fancy, brother. You know, look here, you been playing that music too loud, man. I blew your speaker or something over there.
Oh my goodness.
Rico,
can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So I was just saying, man, just listen to the conversation. That's why make me want to grab my wife and we go do a little salsa.
There you go.
Because I'm telling you, it's a very interesting conversation.
Yes, sir.
But I don't want to put my wife out there and then I embarrass her. She got rhythm, I don't.
Oh. Look here.
Tell me, you're cracking jokes at me. What you doing? Hey man, let me tell you something. I love my wife. She always hearing my conversation. Now she walking like she got a limp, imitating me. Ain't that some junk?
That's love, brother. That's love. Ain't no but love.
Man, what love got to do with that? I got you.
Hey, that's love. Recognize the love. Recognize love when you see it, brother. Recognize it. Rico, what's on your heart? Do the ham bone, Rico. Do the ham bone for us. Give us an example of that thing.
Yeah, I do it a little bit. I ain't did it in a long time. When I was young. You know, I picked up a lot from that because it made me wonder what happened to our music culture. Because at one point in time, I can remember when I was young, I used to get that same energy that I got when I heard mariachi music, like what Kurt was saying about those horns. Man, ain't nothing like hearing horns. And I think about in that disco era, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Commodore's era, you heard those horns, man, and you got that same energy. And it seems that everybody's culture has been able to maintain that spirit and that energy. But when I listen to our music, I don't want to dance anymore. Not like that. Now, if I do want to dance, like Leonard was saying earlier, it got to a point to where it got more risque. And when that era came along, I'm gonna tell you something. During the disco era, heard it through the grapevine with Roger, Brick House with Commodore, all the dancing food, Jam on It, Flashlight. Man, I used to get snuck into talent shows and the dances just to go and dance. You know, my aunts would take me and show out. But when it got to the loop, I stopped because by the time I finished dancing with a woman, I didn't leave nothing to the imagination. The whole crowd, if they were looking at me, they seen it. I done got a little bit too into it.
Yeah.
You know, and so I chose not to dance like that. I wasn't a big slow dance person, you know, having that kind of energy because I know what the music did. And so I guess what I'm getting around to is now is really an indicator of how powerful music is and the kind of energy, the spirit that could come with music. Because there's a lot of babies got made, a lot of R. Kelly babies, a lot of Luke Skywalker babies, a lot of one night stand babies. if we think about a lot of stuff that we address in the community, our community specifically, we can also relate it back to the music that preceded that.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, you know,
I slow drag you up out of club.
You know, it just dawned on me. I was like, man, I remember when I stopped dancing because I know I'd be worried that somebody saw me be a little bit too excited. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna say this for the bedroom.
Yeah.
I ain't doing this on the dance floor no more. I can't control myself. I hope
hold on. There go the mute button. There go the mute button. Oh Lord, there go the mute. All right, boy, I'm glad I got a mute button. Lord, my Jesus, I'm glad I got a mute button. Oh Lord, riding on a Hyundai. Hey. Okay, I'm back. Kurt, where my nephew at, man?
He right here.
Ask him. Can you hear me?
Yeah, he can hear you.
Ask him what do you think about the conversation from the beginning about the money aspect and now with the music, because I know he's in a different generation than what we in. So what's on your heart, young man?
So talking about the money aspect that we were talking about at the beginning. Personally, it's from a teenager's point of view, we don't really see it like y'all adults do.
Mm-hmm.
From a teenager's point of view, we see it as, oh, especially as a freshman, we see it as, oh, this is a time to get our names out, or this is a time to, you know, do something new.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the schools, which, you know, they got their own thing going in South Carolina, to the point where the Board of Education actually decided for parents to decide if their child should go back to school or not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, it's everywhere. It's discombobulated.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely discombobulated. It's dysfunctional. It's everywhere. It's just not the way that a country should be ran at this point.
Yeah. Good deal. Now let's talk about the music. The music, man. Do you like our old school music?
I like old school music.
Okay.
I have a whole old school music playlist.
Okay. Now hold on. Now when you say old school, you're not talking about the what kind of old school you talking about? Because my daughter, she said old school, and she didn't go back as far as she didn't go back far enough for old school. How far you go back when you say old school?
Around Easy.
Okay. That's y'all old school. That's y'all old school right there. So I understand that. Okay, go ahead, Kurt.
Go ahead, Kurt. What?
Oh, I thought I heard you say something.
No. That's Cario. That ain't me.
Okay.
You asking him a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it anything else you want to?
I mean, nah, not really. But old school music, it's just old school music has that. You know, it puts that feeling in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the old school beats are, you know, they're not as on and off as some of the beats that we have today.
Okay. This is what I want you to do for me. I want you to get your dad pull some music up on y'all probably could use it on the Bluetooth, something like that. You know, ain't that technical like that. But tell him bring you up some Parliament Funkadelic, some Earth, Wind and Fire. Who else, Leonard? Who else we got? Earth, Wind and Fire. Casey and Casey and the Sunshine Boys.
Anybody from the 70s, because they had to make their own music.
The stylist. Tell them play some stylistics.
Well, anybody that was making their own music.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's a musician, so he understands that.
Well,
yeah. Go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah, because you know what? I just had to remind him what you was talking about, and you know what? The first place I went.
What's that?
The things you play in the band.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've played Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah.
They've played Stevie Wonder.
Mm-hmm.
They've played a lot of those old, you know, in band right now, bands have transitioned, because I remember a time when it was nothing for the band to, for example, be learning Beethoven 7 Well, if you walk into any band director's class or any band director's session, a lot of band directors are using specifically Earth, Wind, and Fire to teach their musicians how to actually play.
Mm-hmm.
They use Mozart and Beethoven and Tchaikovsky to kind of establish that foundation. But when you want your band to actually run and be able to feel a certain level of comfort, you go into like the Earth, Wind, and Fires, the Commodores. Stevie Wonder is definitely one of them. You go into a little bit of Quincy Jones, arrangements to get the band there. So at their level, you know, him just graduating from middle school, I considered our old school.
Mm-hmm.
But him being a hip hop head, like he's a big Logic fan, which blows my mind because it lets me know that there is an element of them who actually want to hear somebody say something as opposed to hearing a nice beat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they definitely listening. They definitely listening, and they definitely hungry and wanting some feel good conscious music. But right now, well, you know what? If we really think about it, the music industry is in a big transition because at this moment, the studios are not leading music anymore.
Exactly.
The artists are saying, look, my fan base.
Mm-hmm. Kurt?
Yeah, no. I was just ready to end by saying that their fan base is saying, look, you can't put out this frackernackle bull crap anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta put out some music that's not only gonna make me move, but it's gonna make me think too.
Yeah.
So I think music is in a big, just like culture and society is in a big transition. I think a lot of it is being guided by the musical undertone that's coming out now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But listen, I'm looking at the clock, man. It's 10:08. It's time for us to get out of here. Anna, what is going on at 3 o'clock today?
At 3 o'clock, if you missed this show, which I really loved because it went into my culture, you can listen to it at www.dkmmediagroup.com and listen to it in its entirety. I didn't forget.
Absolutely, sure did. Good job. Good job. Bishop.
I'm right here, brother.
Need you to pray us out. Can you handle that for us?
I believe I can.
My man, there you go.
All right. Yes, sir. Heavenly Father, we come before you at this present hour. Thank you, Father God, for last night's rest, this morning's ride, for the use and activities of our land. We know, Father God, that you are in control of all things. And we look to you, Father. We look to you who are the author and finisher of our faith. We ask, Father God, if we'll bless this world, Father God. We're going through so many different problems and crises. But we know, Lord God, if we humble ourselves and pray to you, Father, that you will move in our lives, Lord God, and we accept the things that you put upon us. We wax strong through the things that we have to suffer. God, there is. Oh God, we pray that you bless DKM Media Group. Bless those that call in. Bless those that listen. Bless those that are on the bed of affliction. Bless those that are troubling mind, oppressed and depressed. Bless, Father God, if you will, just move. And bless Raheem as his vision through you continue to grow and flourish, Lord. We ask this to be your will in your holy and righteous name, Lord Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. About to get out of here for today. It's been a great broadcast. It's been a great week, y'all. It's been a great week, and I want to thank everybody that continue to come in and support. Man, we definitely appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. The way I see it, we family. And so when family come together, good things happen. We're going to have us a family reunion real soon, too. We're going to have us a family reunion. DKM Media Group, family reunion. I want everybody to be there. Leonard, I want you to bring the potato salad. Rico, I want you to bring the macaroni and cheese. Pearl, I want you to bring the stuffing. Bishop, I want you to bring the mustard, because Lord knows you can't cook. He gonna let that slide?
All I can do is laugh, man. All I can do is laugh.
Well, listen, it is we're gonna give a list for everybody to bring something. But listen, it's 10:08, man. It's been a great week. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DK and Media Group and the Morning Glow to be a part of your morning. It's 10. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great weekend and a better tomorrow. And that we shine some of this light on you for the morning glow that we live in, and let your light so shine. You all have a great weekend, and if you don't mind, take an opportunity and love somebody. You might get some love in return. Have a great evening.